Happy New Year, everybody. We are closing out 2023 in style and going into 2024. And you're wondering, who are these guys on the screen? Well, you know what? You saw the fireworks last night. I can promise you there's going to be even more fireworks because I got somebody here right now who wants to say a few different things, and we have no idea what he's even going to say. I mean, it could be any particular thing here. But to join me, first of all, to close out 2023 are a number of people. First of all, B-Wall Hall of Famer, the one and only coach of Sportswire Radio, that is Chris Craven. Also here, the owner of the IMF, Mr. Mountain Dew himself, Mr. Dirty Donnie, Mr. 100, the host of the Be More Talkative podcast, that is Mr. TBK, the Baltimore Kid. And it looks to me as if he's back, none other than Armageddon Shane Davidson. Ladies and gentlemen, we got to do the intro one more time here in 2023 because everybody at this point comes to Sportswire Radio for those introductions and some. And well, for those that hate, too bad, you're going to get it anyway. So with that, wait for it. Further ado here on the Sports Report. Number one. Level sports show here with Chris Craven, Mr. 100, Dirty Donnie, and TBK, and Armageddon Shane Davidson. Fellas, how you doing tonight?
Doing great. How can we ever follow that up?
You know what? We're gonna find out because obviously on one side of the pond here in this place in the United States, we're almost like CM Punk coming back home to WWE. And then depending where you were on the other side of the pond, we're almost like CM Punk if he'd walk into AEW. Well, you know what? At the end of the day, I'm going to continue to say it. Sportswire Radio is the people's show. Sportswire Radio was built by all the different people that come on here and the people that continue to support and give Sportswire Radio a platform its name as the #1 global radio station. And also, I want to say this, where all wrestling matters. All wrestling lives here. That's what Sportswire Radio is here for. And I want to give, by the way, real quick, a couple of big shout-outs before I get to you, especially Armageddon Shane Davidson. I want to give a big shout-out to our buddy, Mr. Glenn Abbott here. Glenn Abbott, of course, he's already celebrated the new year. He is one of our hosts at the Work in Progress show on sportswireradio.org. Glenn, thank you for all of your support. We love you. I want to give a big shout out to Skulls and the big bad Silver Wolf himself, Drake Silver, because they put on quite a monologue about that supposed wrestling promoter of never was wrestling or never not wrestling, whatever it might be at this point. It doesn't even matter. But I want to give them big shout outs and people in the room. But, Shane Davidson, Armageddon Shane Davidson. I'm wondering, for those that are listening and watching on Sportswire Radio, we talked about that there were guests going to be here, there were going to be surprises. I'm wondering here tonight, why exactly are you on my screen, and what exactly do you have to say?
Well, for starters, Tom, you can drop the Armageddon Act.
Yeah, no more Armageddon?
No more Armageddon.
All
because
right.
I'm no longer with TBW.
Okay.
That's a conversation for later down the road.
No, I mean, we are live on Sportswire. Now, if you heard what happened last night, I mean, I would certainly say be advised if you want to go out and say something. It's your call, Shane Davidson, but tell us,
well,
I mean, what's going on?
I'm just right now, I'm gonna put it to you this way. Me and some of the creative, we didn't really get along per se. Their creative ideas wasn't really ringing for me, and I was
You're
like,
not
"That's
ringing in the new year then with them? Is that what you're trying to tell us?
yeah, no, I'm not."
Okay, so I mean, you're not going to be in TBW. We're obviously disappointed in that. We
Right.
wish you well. So I mean, what's the future then for Shane Davidson now that you're no longer Armageddon Shane Davidson?
Well, I'm going back to old roots where I originally came from, where I am known as the Southern Bulldozer Shane Davidson. I'm going back to my indie days, which y'all can catch me at No Limit Pro. That's where I'm going to be at right now. Other than that, I enjoyed my experience with TBW.
Yeah.
You know, I don't have bad blood with anybody, but if they have bad blood with me, that's on them.
So why do you think that they would have bad blood with you? I mean, that's certainly an interesting term that you make up here. And have you seen the last 24 to 48 hours on Sportswire? There's a lot of bad blood out there, but I'm curious, why would there be bad blood? Is there something that you want to
It's
elaborate
just
on?
me and creative didn't really see eye to eye in certain things. You know, I'm not the one to throw shade. I'm not the one to call names and everything, but you know, we weren't connecting on like a creative idea aspect. So I had to turn the other way because I was tired of being overlooked by a lot of stuff. So
Overlooked. I mean, what do you mean by that?
well, if you don't mind, there's somebody I would like to be a part of this conversation with me, if that's all right with you.
Yeah, I mean, who might that be?
Uh,
Do I know who this person is?
you do.
I do. Would you like me to bring him on? Because I think I might know who this person is.
Yes.
Well, I'm going to do that. You sure? Is your final
Yes,
answer?
100%.
All right, well, I'm going to do it here. Things are getting lively already. We have none other than the trendsetter himself, Mr. Alan Michaels. I mean, Alan, long time no see.
I know, right? It's been a while, but it's good to see you, man. It's good to be back on here.
How you doing? I mean, first of all, Happy New Year. Hope your fantasy football is, serving you a little better right now these days.
Right now, I am losing by 6 points in my money league, and I kind of need Aaron Jones to step it up.
Well, we better see and find out. So, I mean, obviously, no longer Armageddon Shane Davidson. It's the Southern Bulldozer, and he mentioned your name pretty much without implying. I got a whole bunch of people that want to pop on this stream. We're going to do that shortly. But, I mean, so why did he imply your name for a second there?
Hold on, pause real quick. Spoiler alert.
Uh-oh. Wait. This can't be. You guys, am I seeing things?
Hey, we came to an agreement with TBW, bro.
I thought you guys were sworn mortal enemies here. Wait. Are you sure? Am I seeing things here or what? It's getting lively already tonight on Sportswire.
Hey, that's what happens. Brothers ain't gonna ever leave each other behind.
But I thought you guys weren't brothers anymore. We had you guys on the show, and you talked about the relationship being no more.
That's the definition of a work.
Oh, I would know nothing about that because remember, I'm not in the wrestling business. Unlike some that might be saying different things on Sportswire, we're a Sportswire radio station. We're not in the wrestling business, unlike maybe those that might have had some issues about things that we said yesterday on this platform, which frankly, I mean, especially about one person we're not going to name, we have no problems with that.
I'm going to let you take that one, Mikey.
Mikey, wait, I thought it was Alan Michaels.
I go by many names, you know.
You by many names?
Sad Boyville, Alan Michaels, Mikey.
Yeah.
You know. Whatever you want to call me.
I thought you were staying trendy though.
Hey, you know, this might be a new point in my career with staying trendy. This might not be the only thing in my mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, it's time to get serious, you know, going back to the indie scene, you know, something that I didn't see suitable in the future. But a lot of things came to fruition, and we have an opportunity to really take this stuff to the next level, and I'm really excited for our future endeavors. Good luck, TBW.
Absolutely. No, we love TBW on Sportswire. I want to make that clear. That's TBW is a company that we love on Sportswire.
Yeah,
TBW
absolutely. I loved my time at TBW.
TBW is great. TBW. We have Joshua Allen in the Hall of Fame. We obviously have the Atomic freaking Titan on here. TBW, TBW's a company I'm gonna chant. I'll chant till I'm dead in the grave with TBW. Let me tell you that much. That's a company I'll stick up for any day of the week.
Absolutely.
Yeah, there's some good guys there, man. It was a tough decision to make, but we have to, at the end of the day, do what's best for us, and we also want to do what's best by them. And, we can't be there if we're not going to give it our 100%. It's not fair to those guys. It's not fair to the fans. So,
okay,
it's just something that we had to do.
Well, before I get to a couple different people, let me get to a ton of comments, and I want to bring these other guys in here. Let them say hello for a few minutes. We have, speaking of DKW, stay tuned. Omen Black wants to say it's my show. Obviously, congratulations to Omen. Omen's the 7th member now officially of the Sportswire Radio Hall of Fame. And Omen's kind of the one that started the floodgates last night when he mentioned that guy and goes, F you, and that's where it all kind of went in there for the ages. That's to say the least here. I want to say hello here, 4 down, my man. Is that you, Dirty Donnie? Is that you?
That's we're talking about that British guy.
Okay. Obviously, we gave a big shout out to Drake Silverwolf. I want to give a big shout out to the Bone Shaker, Robert Pearson, who's here from DBW. And Robert Pearson got a new haircut, which I still don't recognize him from. And he's going to talk about that next month here on Sportswire with a number of guys here from Chaos Conspiracy. He also wants to say here, let's hear it one more time in 2023 for yours truly and the phenomenal Sportswire Radio family. And I want to thank everybody here. I want to thank all of the fans, all the people on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter. I want to thank you on Threads. I want to thank you on the brand new website, sportswireradio.org. I want to thank you on Instagram, everywhere that you've supported, all throughout the world. Thank you for all of your support in DBW. Also, the good guy, CJ Black. Who's Chris kissing at midnight? Dirty Donnie. Well, we'll have to find out. We got my fight. First match in wrestling in 2024, Jack Delta, CJ Black, RBW title.
They talking about Craven Rage. That little boy don't want to start with me.
Stay tuned. I want to say hello to Michael Blackheart. Obviously, his father-in-law is Festus, the senior official in XCW. Want to say thank you to Glenn as well. Also, hello, Daniel Banner from GT Ministries, now Kingdom Wrestling. Big Tex, the big man of DBW. 2024 is already home to a couple of big things to come. Wish you well, each and every one of you. Amen to that. God bless you. Want to say hello to our buddy Ron Franklin, TBK's guy. Baltimore Ravens. We'll get into that maybe later. Adonis Felios, the Drip King, who was also on the Wolfpack Hour there with Drake Silverwolf and Skulls. Also, Trendsetter, I see ya. Too Sweet Trendsetter. And amen. This is the guy. Let me tell you something. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give a big shout out to the man that calls it like it is. The Tribal Cheese, the Big Cheese Logan, who calls out all the bullshit, all the BS in wrestling, all those that are involved with that disgusting speak out movement with even that one company, with that disgusting individual that runs that company. And we have no place, no tolerance for what they do, some in this business toward women. The Big Cheese, the Tribal Cheese has been calling it out. He is one of the true, one of the OGs, one of the top draws in this sport. God bless this man. Happy New Year to him. This is a man we should all get down and bow and acknowledge, because if everybody was like the Tribal Cheese, the Big Cheese Logan, I guarantee you that the UK wrestling scene would be 10 times better and not what it is right now. So thank you, the Tribal Cheese. You have spoken to us and we acknowledge. Also, further comments here. Thank you, Tom. You damn straight. The Popular Heel Monster, 8th member of the Hall of Fame. Hello to him. Also, yep, Happy New Year. Yep, legit shoe talker. Yep, and you know what? I'm happy to do that. Happy to call it out. Some people are backtracking. Some made things and comments and things that they'll have to sit with. But at the end of the day, that's here today. I want to go shotgun because I got a bunch of people that want to tune in. And I'm going to go right off the bat here because he's got a few minutes and I want to pop him in. It's this guy named MJ. Now, this guy MJ. Now, I don't know anything about you, but I'm wondering, MJ, who would you might be? Because I'm looking at a shirt you're wearing. And I wanted to know what this shirt was before I bring on the next guest. And tell us who you are and why are you here on a 2023 December 31st edition of New Year's Eve on Sportswire Radio?
Well, Tom, my name is MJ, and I'm the CEO for Wrestling Championship Entertainment.
Okay.
So
No. Let him speak, Coach. Let him speak. Now, he's not that person. He's got the floor, Coach. He's got the floor. Let him talk.
So the reason why I'm here, because I want to say thank you, Tom, for everything you have done for WCE. You know, if it wasn't for you, we wouldn't be where we at now. Just because we are trying to grow, we're just trying to make our company big. You know, we got stars on our show.
You got some big stars, no question.
Yep,
Sean Jovi, the resident
Jovi.
rock star. Nicholas Crenton, the new Messiah. You've got James Marshall. You've got Darkfire, some guy Craven Rage, apparently. I mean, you've got some big names out there. You definitely have some names.
We got big names. Kodak Kid, and we're just trying to get bigger.
Yes.
You know, and stuff like that. We have worked with IMF, as well, and we want to thank them just for helping us.
I see you sign these guys right here. They're free agents, apparently. The trendsetter Alan Mike. Well, I guess it's not more Alan. It's Michael, right? And then we got Shane, the Southern Bulldozer. I would love to see, maybe you try to, open up the coffers there and try to sign the two of the biggest free agents right now in this sport. I mean, listen, everybody's talking about WWE and AEW free agents that could be going somewhere else. I mean, these guys are free agents right now. Their contracts ran out in TBW. If you want to open up that checkbook, these guys are available, and they would be big attractions, even though they say they're going to bigger and better things.
Oh, well, we welcome anybody pretty much, you know what I'm saying? And anybody's more welcome to come tangle with the guys from WCE.
Yeah.
And we just trying to make a name for ourselves. That's all we just trying to do. You know, we started off just for fun and games, and now we just trying to elevate to that next level.
And I know you guys are going to be a part of coming up New Year's Vengeance 20 days from now. It's the IMF second indoor show. It's going to be, get this, ladies and gentlemen, a 400-seat venue. Let me repeat, a 400-seat venue. So you're going to see a number of WCE stars. So we'll have to see. I mean, you want to share anything else, MJ, that the name you tell us here about WCE that we might want to know about?
It's been a lot of stuff going on with the WCEs, stuff. And I know they've been
left Sportswire for a couple of months. I mean, if we're really going to do some shoot talking, I mean, there was clearly someone in the company that didn't want us to really have coverage of WCE, and I think that's a little unfortunate. We are very happy to have you guys back. And we would love to continue that relationship that we've had here. And it was unfortunate that certain individual didn't want us to really cover a company that we enjoyed.
Oh, we coming back. We coming back.
I know that, we obviously have people.
We are coming back, and we are planning on in 2004 just continue our season down at IMF. And I know there are some matches that people have been trying to throw out, like Kodak Kid throwing out challenges. A lot of people are throwing out challenges to different people and stuff like that. And
okay, we'll have to see. I got a lot of comments here. I want to bring somebody else on here because obviously we're going to let guys talk different in and out. I want to say thank you to Joe. Happy New Year, Tom, and everyone. You're a great host, and I'm a huge fan of yours. Happy New Year again. God bless you. I hope 2023 is going to be a very good year for you to come. Also, CJ Black wants to say he's available, but you got to cover his flight, hotel, limo, and food, of course, and the usual. So that's a fair point. Let's see if you can cover it. Happy birthday to you, Skulls. You share the same birthday as my mother. My mother's birthday is January 2nd. Obviously, I wouldn't be here without my mother. So happy birthday to my mother because I wouldn't be born, right? So obviously, yes, no one's going to ruin it. No promoter that ran a company with trainees that couldn't get anybody to pay to show up to the shows is not going to ruin it. Don't worry about that. Anybody else and UK or anywhere else that's going to ruin it here. Happy birthday to you, Skulls. Thank you for your video, your kind words. We'll see here. How do I get on Sportswire? Well, if you want the link, I'll give you the link now if you want to come on and say hello. Speaking of that, I got somebody else that wants to say, we got the guests coming in left and right, fellas. Just make room because we have two of the biggest stars of the foundation themselves. They are here. Bigger, better than ever. And Matthew Forsaken, I'm surprised you're able to even work after what I saw from you at Winter Clash. And we've got Dark Kron and fellas, I mean, Happy New Year. It would not be a 2023 to close out if it wasn't for you guys to be on one more time. And how the hell are you guys?
We're here. He's alive, man. I'm still here.
I don't know how you're alive still. After what I saw in Winter Clash, I mean, how are you alive?
I mean, hey, I'm still healing. Fucking, got shit all over me.
Yeah.
That's cool, man. I'm still alive, still here.
I'm happy you're alive because I see it right now in front. I mean, I obviously, definitely do that. So what's on your mind, guys? I got a lot of people that want to talk. I'm going to try to get to everybody here at once. I mean, what's on you guys' minds?
Well, we're working on, getting things together for Summer Bash. We got a really big event coming up in July. So that's where most of our focus is. So we work with IMF for the most part right now, just to stay relevant. So that's where you'll see us most of the time. So Foundation for Life.
Are we going to see you guys, without spoiling it, maybe as spectators in New Year's Vengeance? Maybe you guys are going to, maybe have a front row seat, maybe say hello. I mean,
you have to tune in and watch. You never know.
Well, I'm sure I'll be covering it here. I mean, anything else you guys want to add before I bring it back to some other guys? Anything else on your guys' minds or anything else that we should share to the audience?
Well, I got a goal for 2024.
I love it. What would be your goal in 2024? I'll ask
if you seen that Winter Clash, I was in a tag match.
Yep.
Triple threat with Donnie. Mm-hmm. Neither one of us got pinned.
Okay.
That tag team gold looks pretty good.
So it sounds to me, are you issuing a challenge there?
Well, I've seen that Donnie and Levi, they're challenging for tag team titles in January 20th, I think. Is that what it is? January 20th? So I believe they're going for a title. So
why not you guys?
We'll see. I'm waiting to heal up, and once I'm healed up, man, I'm coming back for Omen and the hardcore title. Same wants to come in. We can
time out for a second. I'm going to get to comments in a second. I want to say to Drake, Silverwolf, and Joe, build out. I will bring you on in a little while. I got to work, guys, in and out because we can only put a certain amount of people on the stream. So yes, I'll bring you on. I'm going to be here for a while. But Matthew Forsaken, after what your body was put through, are you sure you might want to go back in the ring in 20 days from now? Are you sure that's something that you can do? I mean, it's almost one of the most iconic shots. It's almost like, in a way, what I saw when, Picasso was painting or Michelangelo in those Roman chapels there with that, iconic shot of you in the blood on your back. Are you sure you're going to be okay to go out there again?
Whenever the doctor clears me, I'll be back out. This is the end of me. I don't know when it's going to be. It could be today, it could be tomorrow, it could be weeks from now, months from now, but I will be back. I promise you that.
I want to get to some guys here in a second, because actually I'm going to do a fun question for everybody. If you don't mind, I'm going to give everybody a chance on their 2024 New Year's resolutions. Going to give it to you. No, I'm going to give you 2024 New Year's resolution, but I actually want to say hello to somebody else that, by the way, we like on Sportswire Radio. And this individual might have been at one time related to a wrestler, and we're going to bring him back on in the end of January. And he has a podcast also, apparently. And I was speaking to him, and I always liked him. And he's going to come back on and share his experience, because I think some of his experiences might have been similar to some of the experiences I had with that ex-promoter. So Happy New Year to you, my friend. It's great to reconnect with you. I'm looking forward to speaking with you in January 2024 and maybe talking about some different things that you and I might actually share some common ground on. And glad that we always did, and glad that we reconnected. So I hope you're enjoying this. So obviously, I want to get to everybody and ask you a fun question, because I realize I've only got so many people for so long. Let's go at you, TBK, first. What is your New Year's resolutions for 2024?
Well, I mean, as you know, as I said last night, I'm going to be bringing back the Be More Talkative podcast. Obviously, 2023 has not been without its pitfalls and disappointments and problems and troubles and all that. But you know what? With a little encouragement and a little help from my friends, we have decided we're going to come back strong. So that is an open invite to anybody currently on the screen right now. If you guys are looking to promote your brand and get
this
yourself
guy, get him on your show. This guy, get him on, because this guy has got an interesting experience. He's been a vlogger, very successful vlogger. He's been a very successful podcaster.
Tom, I've been on his show.
I had
these guys on. I'm actually going to do you a real solid right now, the Baltimore Kid. You got how many people we got on here? I can't even count. Just get all these guys on the show. Get them all on your podcast. I promise you, your podcast will stay alive. And get this guy on your show also, because, like I said, this guy's a vlogger. He's been a successful podcaster, and he knows a thing or two about the wrestling business. So this guy, get in touch with him. I promise you, he'll make for a rather interesting conversation because he's got some real interesting experiences in his life to share. So get that guy on also. So that's your New Year's resolution.
Absolutely.
Okay, good enough there. Let me go to you. I guess now I'm having a hard time. Do I call you the Southern Bulldozer now, Shane Davidson?
You can just call me Shane Davidson, man.
I'll call you Shane. How about that?
That's
because
fine.
My
That's
brother's middle
perfect.
name is Shane. What is your New Year's resolutions for 2024?
For the first part is I gotta get a better mindset. That's gonna be my big 2024 goal, is have a better mindset on how I look at life. Also, I'm gonna hopefully be carrying. I want to be carrying some gold. You know what I'm saying? In the indie scene, that's what I'm trying to do. And then my next goal is like I gotta lose this pudge, bro. I gotta get rid of this fat belly I got on me.
Oh yeah, I'm not going to comment on that. Not that I actually don't. I'm actually in good shape, but because you are still a big man, I've actually watched you on my TV screen. I'm going to say no comment, and I hope it works out. So that's what I'm going to say.
Absolutely.
I'm going to do my very, very kind words there. For you, Coach, obviously great to be with you. I got to ask you, what is your New Year's resolution for 2024, if you have one or two?
Go to Disney World.
I think tonight's show is like Disney. I think the last 48 hours on Sportswire.
No,
like Disney World.
I don't, man, dude. I don't plan any of that stuff. I just take things as they come.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, I like the hair coming back. I do like the hair, and I like the Sting plushie in the background. I like the radio setup on there. So I think, maybe you'll take over my chair permanently. I am looking for somebody at this point, especially if I could get canceled any day now, literally. So if any of you guys are actually looking for a new job, a new opportunity, maybe I'll pass the baton to you guys, and maybe we'll keep Sportswire alive, because there's a possibility. Who knows? In a couple days, I might even get canceled. But
don't pass it to me. I'll offend everybody. You already know that.
Okay, a couple things here. I'm going to work everybody in a second. I'm going to bring
Josh Stone, guy. Is that what his name was?
Thank you, sir.
Josh Stone, fuck that dude.
Oh, yeah. Did I say that name out loud? Shit.
Who?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Well, I just want to say for you, TBK, get in touch with this man. Yeah. It's his first name, last name on Instagram, Facebook, first name, last name. Get in touch with him and tell him I sent you, and we'll do that here. I'm just going to call you Michael, right? Call you Michael now. Michael, the guy in the middle, not MJ. I'll go to MJ next. What is your New Year's resolution for 2024?
Honestly, to keep growing as a person, keep perfecting my craft. I spent a lot of time last year training, and, I'm not done yet. Still got a lot to learn, honestly lose some weight. So, I lost 40 pounds this year.
Oh, wow.
And, I made some big leaps.
If I lose 40 pounds, I'll literally be less than Chase Wakefield's weight. So I can't lose 40 pounds.
Yeah, I lost some weight, but I'm going to keep on grinding, keep on, doing me.
It's a grind. It's all a grind. It's all
always
a grind here. Well, before I get to MJ, I want to say hello to somebody first, because it's his show, and we want to give him a big shout out.
We're
He's
the only
the
Hall
7th
of
member of the
Famers in here
Sportswire
right
Radio
now.
Hall of Fame. He's the boogeyman of the Midwest. His name is Omen Black, and also the 8th member of the Sportswire Radio Hall of Fame, the popular heel monster, Soldier GP. Gentlemen, how you doing? And we're also joined here by the legendary Nemesis James Taylor. And by the way, speaking of, real quick before I get to MJ, I find it interesting that we have three former TBW employees. Are you guys basically going to try and do a TBW South version, almost like ex-WWF guys going to WCW? Is that what this night's show about? Is that the shoot here, that you, Taylor, and Davidson are going to pull a Hogan Nash and Hall here, TBW style? Is that the plan?
Hey, you never know what can happen.
I hope not. We all saw what happened to Hogan Nash and Hall.
Hey, they're in the Hall of Fame, though. They're in the Hall of Fame, and these guys, if they go out,
after they came back.
But if these guys go out and do that in 24, they very well could be Hall of Famers also.
If I was to do a faction, it would probably be more like an Evolution type style. I'd be the leader, Triple H, and I'd have my two disciples right here.
David, have you seen Davidson? You guys shared a locker room together for a very brief time, right? I mean, have you seen Davidson's height?
Yeah, I've picked him up. Have you not seen one of my shorts?
I did. I did. Listen, I did. I wanted to remind you. You shared a locker room with him.
Yes, for a brief moment.
How
And
many
I
people
thought he was 6'4", but he corrected me the other day. He said he was 6'6". So
yeah.
All right, my running joke is: was it 2 days you shared a locker room with, or one? I
Maybe
figured
two?
that.
I don't know.
I think it was 2.
Yeah, it was 2 different days.
All right, fair enough here. I want to also get to Mr. Jack Delta. Jack is here. Happy New Year's, gentlemen. Hope everyone is doing well. It does feel like the
Jack
Brady
Delta. Hope
Yeah,
to
a
see
lot of
him
people-
this
yeah,
year.
we love Jack Delta. Jack, how you doing out there? Ethan Sorensen says, what are we doing today? It's New Year's Eve, and we're just shooting the
New
breeze
Year's
here.
Eve, man. We're partying.
I'm going to try to
New
get
Year's
Michael
Eve,
Blackheart in a second. Michael, let me finish the New Year's resolutions. For you, MJ, what is your New Year's resolution or two?
Hopefully, continue working with IMF, DKW, anybody else that's willing to help WC grow. And last night I noticed there's a lot of comments made, Omen Black. All I have to say, if you want that opportunity at Kodak Kid, hey,
what?
I don't see no problem with that.
So
Pretty much all the RCW titles.
Looking at your new champions. Let's just say that.
All the championships for WCE is going to be defended anywhere. Anywhere. Whoever wants a shot, they can have a shot. And
well, MJ, you're looking at your number one contender and the champion that's going to beat Kodak Kid. So you're welcome.
Well, I want to get to some more New Year's resolutions, but I first of all want to give a big shout out to this wrestler named Brad Coleman, because Brad, we definitely love Brad here. Give Brad a sub on YouTube. Need not to worry about that individual, that snowflake, because he literally took nonstop, never stop too seriously. No, I'll finish it for you because it was nonstop, never stop to where it never is. It's just nothing. It's in the ground. I mean, we should do a ceremony for it. We should actually do like one of those like ceremonies where it's almost like you get like maybe like a last rites and you do a funeral with the body. I mean, that's what we should do. Maybe we'll do that one day on Sportswire. But let's move on from that. Somebody's echoing. If you got echoing in the background, turn your TV down. Darkron and Matthew Forsaken, give me the New Year's resolutions of 2024.
What was that?
Give me your resolutions for New Year's 2024.
I'm going for some tag team gold. I'm going to tell you that right now. I'll be in every tag team tournament I can be. I'm going to win some gold. Hey, whenever I'm healed up, I'm going to get back in that ring. I'm going to take somebody's gold. I don't know whose gold it is, but I promise you, Forsaken.
Oh, see what you did is you pumped him up, bud. Remember, because he was all about not winning the title. Like he only wanted the title, so nobody else could have it. Didn't care about winning. But now something's changed with Forsaken. Forsaken wants to win a title. Usually, he doesn't want to win the championship. He just wants to hold it so everybody else can. You put that fire into him, Omen. You put that fire into him.
I don't know if it was him. It could have been somebody else. You never know.
Okay.
That's the guy who lost the match.
Well, what do you guys? What's your New Year's resolutions? Hall of Famers number
He's
7 and 8.
We're gonna live the Hall of Fame life. We're legends now, so we're gonna live that legend Hall of Fame life.
All right, and for you, the Nemesis James Taylor. Before I bring on another guest in a second that wants something to say, specifically to you, Omen Black. There's actually somebody that wants to say something to you. James Taylor, the Nemesis. I mean, what's your New Year's resolutions of 2024?
To take the wrestling world by storm, have the most talked about matches and the best matches of 2024, and have matches I haven't got to have with some of these individuals in this room, nonetheless. And just be in the best shape of my life and do exactly what I say I'm going to do, and to reach
over there too.
100,000 subscribers
And
on my YouTube.
over there too.
And I'm going to answer it for Jack Delta. My New Year's resolutions are just to keep having more people a platform. Make Sportswire Radio the people's platform. Continue to provide an outlet where, let me repeat this very nicely, all wrestling matters. That's right. Whether you're in the underground, whether you're in the backyard, whether you're in the quote-unquote semi-pro, whether you're the independent, whether you're the pro, whether you're the WWE, AEW, Mickey Mouse, Donald Duck, a bag of chips like Downtown Julie Brown used to say in those MTV videos, we want to be the place where all wrestling matters. That's my New Year's resolution, to continue to be the voice for all wrestling and the voice for all people that don't have a voice and are fed up and furious about everything that's going on out there. That's what we want to be. So thank you.
That's what makes you great, Tom.
His resolution was to what? You know what? We're going to find out here. We're going to certainly find out. CJ and Jack Delta is the match I'm watching. Foundation, I already have a group watching my back. With all respect to what you do in the Midwest, come see the Foundation. Serves him right, but you know what? I am echoing here. Let me see. Let me mute somebody and see if it's. I fixed. No, I think I fixed it. No, I didn't. Okay, we're gonna try to unfix this in a second. It could be in the amount of people. Michael Blackheart is here. Michael, how are you? And what's going on, my friend?
I'm hanging out in my library.
So what do you got to say? You said you wanted to say something to Owen Black. Tell us what's on your mind.
Owen Black, yes. Wonderful to actually meet you. But I am a huge Justin Persley fan. What you did was absolutely awful. But yeah, I have to tip my hat to that because you said you were going to do something and it was absolutely beautiful. Because you said it and you did it.
Hey, don't leave out my tag team partner here. Don't leave out my brother Kron and
I do apologize.
Bacon. Parsley fan. You're a Parsley fan, so I don't like you already.
That's fine. That's fine. That's what my ex-wife says.
I can see why. You make dumb decisions.
I know. Married twice.
Oh, so
that was the problem. Anyway.
Smart men don't get married.
Yeah, twice.
Interesting.
Send a shout out to Festus for me, all right?
Yes, of course. Of course. Rest Festus, he does have his final match happening the day of Cold Day. Day of Cold Day in Hell. He is wrestling his final match, if you were not aware.
I think we had that on Fletch's show. I think we mentioned that on Fletch's segment, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
I think we mentioned that on Fletch. Because, by the way, for those that are listening and watching, his father-in-law is senior official in XCW, Festus Davis. Festus was supposed to have his final match back in November, but different things went on. He's going to have that match coming up, Cold Day in Hell, which I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, is the second Thursday in February for those that are listening and watching on Sportswire Radio.
Yes.
That's why we know XCW is the place to be. Also, we see here, Happy New Year to you, my friend. I hope you are doing well. Also, Adonis Felios, ouch, ouch, ouch. Jack Delta wants to say, Festus is an actual dinosaur. Well, I'm not going to say that, Jack Delta. That's not fair. But, gentlemen, there's more surprises here. You want me to bring in more surprises?
Sure. What you got?
For sure, brother.
What you got?
I got a lot of surprises, but first, because I see him on the screen, I've never brought him. I'm going to have somebody else wait, but because I've never had him on Sportswire Radio, and I'm going to bring him on right now, and that's the big bad Silver Wolf himself, Mr. Drake Silverwolf. And how you doing there, buddy?
Man, I knew I should have loaded the gun with a silver bullet tonight. Jesus Christ!
I told you this was going to be good. We had surprises.
He's probably about to bust it out. He's been trying to get on the show for a long time.
Well, you know what? He had an excellent monologue. He had a great opening, and you know what? We're bringing him on because we're in the New Year's spirit. How you doing there, buddy?
Doing good. Very doing good.
What do you want to say? You've made it in life. You're on Sportswire Radio, the voice of.
Don't take the hood off so people can see your face.
Homo wrestler.
I am the undisputed champion of WFEW.
Yep.
Who? What? Where?
195 days.
So are you basically doing your best Craven Rage in reference, I guess?
Craven Rage. Craven Rage.
I don't think it's been that long.
Trust me, I've been trying to call him out.
You
He
have?
might be giving. He
Yeah,
was.
Well, what did you think though about Craven Rage and Omen Black? I mean, Omen Black is right here. He's been calling out Craven Rage for the better part of 10 months. I mean,
He told me his little advocate told me if I beat Skulls, he'll give me opportunity against him.
Against
in
who?
the backyard brawl.
Against who? Against who?
I'm going against Skulls.
Okay, and if you beat Skulls, what do you get?
You going after me or Craven?
Craven.
I'm lost. Yeah.
Because my goal is next year become the next hardcore champion of WF.
You think you're hardcore? Craven ain't hardcore,
What
bud.
about as hardcore as Atomic Titan?
You want a hardcore?
yeah, but he's the hardcore god, though. He's the hardcore king. I'm sorry, you're the hardcore god.
I can tell you, there's a lot of guys on
hardcore
here. There's a
guy.
lot of guys that have come on here that belong on the Disney Channel. That's all. I'm saying.
I believe
Oh,
we got more people on right now than the Disney Channel would be able to hold. Because literally, Jack Delta asked me, how many people can we hold on here? It's 10 people. So,
Hey, Tom.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Omen, you want Craven Rage?
Duh.
Yeah, MJ. He wants Craven Rage.
I want Craven Rage.
I'll tell you what, I can make that happen.
You can?
MJ, you tell Craven Rage.
I bet he knows the guy.
MJ.
Be able to pull some
Striking
strings.
with yeah, he knows him.
And
MJ.
you think that where would that happen? Would that happen in a WCE ring, an IMF ring, a neutral environment? I mean, where would this happen, do you think?
It would happen in the IMF.
Oh, really? That's news to me.
MJ.
Yes.
Craven's got to get past me in January. So I don't think it's
You told me this. Your advocate told me this on the Wolfpack Hour. If I beat Skull, I get opportunity against Craven.
Craven don't have.
Advocate lied to you.
Well, see, that's one thing about listen to his advocate, because his advocate lies so much. But anyway, yeah, you can have that. Oh man, you can pick it when and where.
You know what? It's to the point now where it'd be pointless to face Craven Rage.
How about this?
Well, how about if Craven becomes a state champion?
Listen, it's at this point, it's pointless to face Craven Rage. You know, he likes to say that I'm not ready for him. I'm nothing compared to what he can face. You know what? I just think that he knows that I'm not on his level because I'm above him.
What does he have to offer you?
I'm above Craven Rage. I'll be
Wait,
taking a
wait,
step down.
Damn right.
You said, though, time out for a second, if you don't mind, right? For 10 months, right, you've called out Craven Rage. Is that correct?
Yeah. Yeah, I did.
And he didn't answer your challenge for 10 months, correct, right?
I can vouch for that one.
Yep.
So if Craven Rage wanted to finally wrestle you, you say not going to happen?
The reason why he wants to wrestle me now because of relevancy. That's what it is.
So you're saying that Craven Rage, because he's fallen off his sword, and now he's trying to get back into the land of relevancy, because basically, as we opened up in the monologue to induct you into the Hall of Fame, that you have basically caused him nightmares. You've basically become his backyard nightmare. That
You
now
are his nightmare.
he's basically trying to almost get back and regain the 15 minutes of fame, or maybe a few extra minutes on. Is that what you're telling me?
Well, like I said last night, did I do enough to get Craven Rage's attention? Let's turn back the hands of time. I had to beat James Marshall. I had to beat Matthew Forsaken, Dark Kron, Soldier GP, Anthony Steele even. I had to become world champion twice, hardcore champion, United States champion. And now that I'm a Hall of Famer in Sportswire, now he wants to face me. It's all about being relevant. And now that I'm going to face the guy who beat him senselessly.
You know, Soldier,
Well,
And
because there's one thing y'all need to know, and this is go for any. Speaking of the guy that I need to speak to is Nicholas Clemson.
And that's why I brought him on, because I knew my cue, and I know that the new Messiah, Nicholas Crenton, is back for more here on Sportswire Radio.
Well, Nicholas Crenton, I'm glad you joined. You have opportunity right now to get your RCW championship back. What we are doing for WCE is pretty much anybody as a former champion can invoke their rematch clause any place, anytime, anywhere.
And then
say that one more time.
WCE is going to say for any former champion, they can invoke their rematch clause for their title anytime, anywhere, any place.
Interesting.
Hold
Here.
on.
All of a sudden, we have WCE management making decisions where the past literally 10 months, WCE really hasn't had any management at all. Now it seems like we're seeing decisions left and right here all of a sudden.
Hey, Tom, I got something to say to Nick.
Yeah, go ahead. The floor is yours. You're live on Sportswire Radio.
The half a
Nicholas
face has something.
Crenton, who do you think you are for slapping me in the freaking face? Hey, then you immunity me in a match? If management approves it next year, I want the rematch.
Greg Silver, if you don't be quiet, you will get fired right here on this show.
Silver, talk again, please.
Say something. Anything.
Stick it up his ass.
Well, what brand of cigarette are you smoking? That's the first question here.
Newport.
Menthol or regular?
He's a menthol type of guy.
Raise your hand if you're a menthol or regular cigarette smoker if you smoke here on the show. And if you're in the comment section, tell us what you prefer, because I have a feeling we have smokers here on this. And no, I'm not a smoker. What's your brand of choice?
Maverick.
Maverick.
Menthol.
You are kind of like a maverick, Chris Craven. You are definitely a maverick, but we're all mavericks here.
I'm so chomping at the bit here to break the fourth wall, but I'm doing a real good job to behave myself and keep this little kayfabe going on here.
We've got people that are definitely, I don't want to put this, if they're spies, if they're watching us on Sportswire, so we definitely have people out there around the world that are watching to see what we say tonight. So you definitely want to, keep a close eye on what you may or may not say on Sportswire.
Roman and Soldier over there trying to hold every laugh in, too.
Chris, I'm right there with you, bro. I'm right there with you.
Well, we're going to get time. We're going to have time because I think certain people aren't going to be here very long. I know, MJ, you're not going to be here for very much longer. Is there anything else that you want to say before I get some other people in here to talk? Because I have a ton of people that actually want to pop on this. I know you're here just for business duties, so anything else you want to say? And by the way, I want people to follow
WC getting on here tonight?
MJ, WC Heat on YouTube, Facebook, WCHeat.com. Is there anything else that you want to say about one of our promotions that's been one of our favorites throughout 2022 and 23 in Wrestling Championship Entertainment, Wisconsin's home for backyard wrestling?
I just want to say thank you, Tom.
By the way, use that tagline, WCE, Wisconsin's home for backyard wrestling. Make sure you use that tagline.
Thank you, Tom, for bringing me on here. Thank you for just being a good supporter and helping us get out there. Thank you, IMF, for bringing our talent down there to make us big and strong. I truly appreciate it. Y'all are helping us. DKW, we're looking forward to working with y'all and anybody else that truly want to help us. We're more than welcome to bring y'all on.
Excellent. We definitely love that. MJ, I want to wish you and your family a very happy new year. I want to thank you for your efforts in WCE. WCE has well over 500 subscribers now. We're certainly excited to see WCE stars take place at IMF's next show coming up, New Year's Vengeance, 20 days from now, almost 19. That's going to be more information on the Iowa Midwest Federation Wrestling page on Facebook. Also, WC Heat, YouTube, Facebook, WCHeat.com, IMF Wrestling 666, where you can watch Winter Class, where you can watch Sean Jovi and Craven Rage. And I want to remind people one more time, a couple of different things here. We have Sean Jovi, the resident rock star, to be inducted into the Sportswire Radio Hall of Fame on February the 3rd. I believe that's going to be at 10 p.m. Eastern Time. So Sean Jovi, the resident rock star, to be inducted into the Sportswire Radio Hall of Fame. So that's something that you definitely want to see. So I want to make sure that people know about that. Also, February the 1st, Nicholas Crenton of WC to be inducted into the Sportswire Radio Hall of Fame. That'll be 10 p.m. Central Standard. You gave him a thumb. I thought you guys were okay with it. Didn't he pay you off at one of the shows months back? I thought you guys were of.
There's not a friendship there. It's just payment.
But at least he paid. He paid though, right? He did pay.
Yeah, he paid.
All right, so he's being
After he paid.
and we're going to have more announcements. More announcements.
Hang out with him.
We just like his money.
And by the way, all right, the DKW guys hang out. We're going to have an announcement for them maybe inducted into the Hall of Fame next month. So stay tuned for that. But MJF, obviously, I know you'll be watching February 1st. Nicholas Crenton, 10 p.m. Central. Sean Jovi, the resident rock star, 10 p.m. Eastern Time on February the 3rd. Happy New Year to you and your family. Thank you for all that you do again. WCE Wrestling's home in Wisconsin for your one-stop source for backyard wrestling. Happy New Year, my friend. God bless, and we'll see you soon. Okay, that's your cue to leave. Some people don't get the cues here. Michael Blackheart, do you want to say anything else? Michael, it's good to be with you. I can barely see you there, so I'm wondering because I got to work other people back in the show. Anything else you want to say? What's on your mind?
Besides needing more beer,
do you have a New Year's resolution?
To finish this ultra marathon in June.
Okay, that's a good one.
It's a 100-mile race. I got 36 hours.
And who do you got between Rob Slater, Justin Parsley, Soldier, and Omen? Episode 11 encounters, tornado tag, no DQ for the tag titles. Who you got?
You got to go the guys who can eat Justin Parsley because I'm like, I looked at the first shot. I was like, damn, Justin. But I'm sorry, Justin. I love you, bro. Sure. But I got to go with Omen Black and.
Ooh, I wonder where Justin is because Justin is definitely one of the guys that we think we'd want to have on. But let me ask you one quick question, Michael. Can you do us a favor and maybe speak to your father-in-law? Because the word is in the XCW locker room that we're trying to get him onto Sportswire.
Yes, I will talk to him. I talk to him almost daily, and we'll be down there in February.
I hear he's a fan of our work.
Census here to rough a couple matches. So
yes.
Well, we might want to have him on Sportswire to talk because apparently the word is in the locker room. They actually would like to see him come on. So I was hoping that, Michael, since you have been a good son, that you could ask your father-in-law to see if you would like to come on.
Michael Blackheart, if you could also pass along the message to Steve-O and Festus. I know Summer Bash needs a couple more refs, and we'd be honored to have those two ref some matches at Summer Bash.
I will pass the message along when I speak to him in the morning.
Excellent. Michael, I know you've got to run, so I want to say I wish we could see your camera there because I can barely see it. But obviously, thank you. There you go. I still can't see you. You got a dark picture. Next time you come on, there you go. That's better, Michael. Michael, I've known you now for 6 months, and I can barely see it, but you're a little better now. Michael, I want to thank you for all of your support. It's because people like you, as Sportswire is the people's show. It's why Sportswire is the #1 global radio station and why we're the voice of all wrestling. It's because of people like you and your family. Thank you for all of your support. I want to wish you and yours a very, very happy New Year. God bless. And I want to see you here more often in 2024. Can we make that a deal?
I will make you that deal, but I will get back to Festus in the morning. But y'all have a great night.
I'm asking for him, all right? Yeah. Now, gentlemen, if I wanted to give you another wrestler, but this guy's a big guy, maybe could hold his own and talk, would you guys want me to bring him on?
Is that who I think it is?
It's not Craven Rage. He's actually not coming on. But, maybe we should take a poll. For those that are out there,
Is it Big Tex? I was right.
Got him.
I didn't say it. You know, there's obviously apparently there's going to be, from what I've heard through the grapevine, a campaign to be started to induct Craven Rage into the Sportswire Radio Hall of Fame. Word has it that there might be a petition out there starting tomorrow, and apparently there's going to be an effort to try to induct Craven Rage into the Hall of Fame. I mean, you know, what do you guys all think about that?
I'll sign it.
He's got to fight Omen first.
I'll sign it.
I mean, money talks.
Because you know why? That's all he'll ever get.
Contractually obligated to show up for every fight he has signed up for this year.
If he could come on here and cut one decent promo, I'm for it.
I'll sign off on it.
I think, and listen, I know that MJ,
and he cannot requote a WWF.
Hey, Hall of Famer talking. Everyone, shut up. I'll sign off on it. You know why?
Stop smiling.
I'll sign off on it. You know why? Just the fact that he's below me, it'll just eat him up alive. So yeah,
did you say he was below me?
MJ can't sign it. That'd be favoritism.
He likes to be on bottom.
You know what? I realize I would like to laugh at that, but the truth is we can't do that here because there are people, a lot of them paying attention with close bated interest to see what exactly we say on Sportswire. So that I'm not going to endorse. So we're going to move on from that. But if you are on Sportswire Radio and you are checking us out for the first time or checking us out because a promotion or two you might work for said to send you here, no, that could be anybody. It doesn't have to be UK. It doesn't have to be the US. It could be any company out there. We're on YouTube. That's not a knock, by the way. I want to make sure that's not a knock on any company. That's actually saying that the fact that companies do send their talent to listen to us. That's completely fine. We love that stuff. Thank you for tuning in. Did you want to say something, James Taylor, the Nemesis?
Yeah. Why is it that we have to walk around on fucking eggshells these days when back in the day you could say whatever you wanted?
So you want to say something
about it?
You want to say something? Go ahead, because you heard me for 20 minutes yesterday unload, and we had a number of people, by the way. Hi, how you doing out there? That messaged online. Hi, how are you? But go ahead, James. The floor is yours.
I'd like to, if I could retort. Definitely. I saw what you had to say, and I back you 100% on everything you said.
Thank you very much for that. That means a lot to me.
The hell with anybody that wants to. If they're talking about you and they're throwing sissy fits and having all these problems with somebody like you,
some of them had
fits. Right, they're not.
Some of them had fits because they didn't want to be implied into it. They felt that they didn't say nothing, but all of a sudden, in one individual's case, he hadn't messaged in 7 months, and he made a comment on Instagram or whatever it was, and he's with a group of individuals. I mean, if I get into it further, it's going to come back and, hey, you said something. And the individual talked about wrestlers who were jobbers coming onto the show. He wanted the best for the show. He doesn't really want the best for the show. Obviously, everyone's going to say, everybody's trying to politic. Here's the real truth. Everybody tries to politic in the sport of wrestling. I mean, Coach knows it. Darkron knows it, Omen Black, and everybody's now backtracking because the individual who should have never said anything was aligned with some of the individuals. They can say whatever they want, but it's my show, my platform, and I'm entitled to say what I want. So the facts of the matter is, it's my opinion, and you know what? I wish you all the best in your future endeavors, but it's my show, my platform. I'm entitled to say whatever I want, and the facts of the matter are, is my show. I don't want to keep hemming and hawing this every day. My platform was endangered. My platform was harmed. As a matter of fact, the people here on this stream were endangered and harmed because of that one individual who had to use the words. Again, I don't want to continue to go on this, but we are disappointed who I want to bring on. No, it's whoever I want to bring on. And we're going to bring on an individual Tuesday night. We had a heart-to-heart with him, but he had said a few things, but it's my platform. I don't tell. We're going to shoot. I'm going to shoot for a second before you do. I will let you go and shoot. I'll let Big Tex come in a second. Do I tell DKW how to book your matches?
Nope.
Do I tell the IMF how to book your matches?
Nope.
Do I tell the Be More Talkative podcast how to run your podcast?
No.
Do I tell the Wolfpack Hour how to run your show?
No.
Do you tell them how to be a bunch of bitches?
Sure.
Do I tell WC how to run their show? Do I
No.
tell Coach Chris Craven how you should speak on Sportswire? No. So that goes for anybody else that says anything to me and anything else that they're aligned with. So the facts are.
Well, I look at it like this, Tom. I'm like, you spend enough, and this is complete, clarity here. You spend enough time in your personal life in the political realm. right?
I do. I am in the shoot here. I will let you speak in a second, James.
So
but yes, I am in the political
spend
world.
your
Yes.
real time in the political arena, right? On a regular basis. So
I
when
do.
you come on here, and this has been basically nothing about everything on here is just sports. We're not talking about whose rights or what country's doing this, who's doing that, who gets this kind of diversity or rights or privilege. No one talks about that shit here.
No, I have been doing this 5 years. I never said that once.
Football, wrestling, etc.
Yeah.
Why make a big sting? Like, I didn't watch the whole thing. I didn't read all the fine print or whatever goes on, but I got the gist of it. Why bring an element into a sports show that's never been on that sports show? That element has never existed.
We've never had. I'm 5 years. I've had this, and it's really because of that individual. People out of the woodworks message. You implied this, you implied that, and it's not even directed towards the person. I'm with you on that. But the facts of the matter is, because of that individual by association aligns himself. It's guilt by association. Look, it's the wrestling business, right? When Punk goes out and did the pipe bomb, right? He blew up on everybody, right? At the end of the day, right? That's what happened, right? When Punk shot on Jericho, and Jericho and the Young Bucks shot on Punk, that's what happened. Get over it. Get over it. If you guys are wrestlers, you guys are these pros, you got these companies, and you're supposed to be these big stars, and you want to tear down people here, well, you know what? It's too bad. I can't change it, and you can't change the fact that the individual that you're aligned with and the things that you're involved with, you can't change that. It's my platform. Simple as that. And you know what? My livelihood was endangered, and the people here on the streams were endangered. James Taylor, I want you to shoot before I bring Big Tex on. Go ahead and shoot. Floor is yours.
I mean, you're basically nailing it all on the head. It's people get butthurt because they don't like hearing certain things that don't apply to them. And when they see somebody else succeed doing what they're doing, they get upset about it, and then they want to point fingers. And nobody should tell you.
Say, no, I supported you. Yeah, no. Well, you know what? You're coming at me. You messaged me for the first time. You never reached out to me. And you're telling me then in the comments about when you're trying to backtrack and say who this, who that. No, you don't have my interest of my show. You don't care about my show. I wish you all the best, but it's my show, my platform, and don't have the audacity to message me privately and talk about things that you have no business to. And if I don't want you on the show, I don't need you, because I have every single underground and backyard wrestler that's in this damn sport that will come on this platform and will come on the show, and they don't want to beg. They want to be here. So if you don't want to be here, or if you want to go into your promotion where you have 25 people, 30 people, and you can't even sell 500 pounds, that's your issue. This is my show. This is the people's house. And if you don't want to come on here, I'm going to make that clear.
I don't mean to get you all worked up, Tom. You have every right to feel the way you do. That's passion and that's fire. And I'll go on to say this. If anybody out there is obviously threatening any of these guys, because I support the backyard community, I support the indie community.
Well, Joshua Stowe, he commented on a post I shared from CJ the Alpha John, and he commented about backyard wrestlers. When this individual has had basically, 15 matches in his career? And by the way, I want to remind people that he booked himself to be a champion that folded. Booked himself to be a champion that folded.
Of course he did.
And that's why he's on Facebook right now, and he blocked people because he can't hide from the truth. And if he wanted to come on this show, I still wouldn't bring him on, because that would give him more relevancy than he's had in the last 18 months.
Yeah, next time you hear from him, you know what? Next time you hear from him,
that's how I was. That's how I was.
Let's go.
That's how I was a week ago when I did my Instagram live. I just went off on everybody because I was in character and just was feeling what I felt, and that's exactly what.
And that's what guys are getting mad right now on the other side of this pond. They're getting mad because they're having to backtrack, and they have to go and worry about their own political skin, because the facts of the matter is, in their promotions, nobody cares for them. And you know what? I want to say, James Barris, thank you, James Barris, for standing up. Thank you, James Barris, for being the best owner in this damn sport right now. Thank you, James Barris, for giving the people what they want. Thank you, James Barris, for supporting the communities. Thank you for going out there and raising money for cancer, using your promotion to help people, unlike other people who are worried about their own skins and have to have the insecurity and are worried about what's going on the outside, because on the inside, they know that they can't hang. That's the truth.
Like I said, I heard from an acquaintance about what he said. That's why I shut him down on my show.
Oh, that's why right now, look at the YouTube numbers going up because people know. Listen, the word has traveled. But you know what? I want to continue to say this. I'm completely content in not bringing on British wrestling companies. I don't need them to come on. If they don't want to come on, if they don't like the tone, as Vince McMahon said in 2001 for certain divisions, you're fired.
Well, look, you said something earlier, and you said it in a concern. We all heard you, where you said, I might get shut down later, who I don't know, blah, blah, blah. You're not going to get shut down. If anybody that's watching, that's going to shut this man down just for living his passion and giving us all a platform and we all talk and have fun and just talk wrestling and share it with the world.
That's all we've ever wanted to do on Sportswire.
You're a piece of crap, and I promise you're going to get yours because karma is a bitch. I promise you that.
Oh, and some of those individuals, master manipulators, master politicians, and this is the truth, right? Wrestling, I'm going to let you speak. I'm going to let Big Tex in. I'm going to let you speak. But now we're in the people's house. And the truth is, in wrestling, there's a lot of manipulating, a lot of politics, a lot of dirty stuff. And a lot of these companies, they're big parts of it. And they want to now backtrack and run away and said, no, it wasn't me. I didn't do it. Well, you know what? It's called guilt by association. And the facts are what the facts are. And that's why a lot of these companies, guess what? They're struggling. And guess what? The IMF has done is revolutionary. What the IMF has done is groundbreaking. These companies that have these big names, we've got these big stars here. They've wrestled for 20 years. They can't even sell 100 tickets to the venue. What these guys did, selling 200 tickets, 400 tickets, you know what? We should put these guys on every 15 minutes. I want every British wrestler to go book these guys because these guys know how to sell tickets. These guys have a formula, and apparently they know what they're doing. And these other companies that have these big name stars, I booked myself champion. It hasn't worked for you, buddy, because your promotions aren't doing well. And now you need to message because now you're having to backtrack because of one knucklehead who went out had the audacity to try to boycott my platform and try to have something that has some nerve because I did more for that individual than anybody did for him in his entire life. That shows you there the manipulation and the politics right there. Hands down.
Damn right. You're damn right.
Oh, I know you guys haven't seen nothing yet on.
What you should have said is the British guys should be calling them and asking them to be booked on their
They wouldn't do that because if they booked them, they would make sure they'd be in the opening match and job them out because they would say, well, I'm a 15-year veteran. I'm a 10-year veteran. I've been out there and, this guy's a jobber and that's what,
and they probably wrestle like
if they're a jobber?
I want to say, I know you guys been watching stuff. I want to promote the Super coming out next year. Backyard Brawl. Backyard Brawl is coming out in May of next year. It's going to be one of the best shows kicking off WFEW.
Okay. I want to say hello to Trinity, our female referee in XCW. Here's what we walked into real quick and how you doing, Big Tex. Trinity, there was a person from a company that no longer exists called for a boycott of Sportswire Radio because an individual was coming on here in the end of January who wanted to talk about his background in wrestling, and the individual talked about the individual's viewpoints outside of wrestling, and he claimed in the words that we were disappointed with this decision, and he spoke on behalf of a number of different people, including one or two of them that messaged me privately about their disappointment about me having them on the platform. And when the individual called for a boycott of my platform, I don't want to make this every single time for something, but the facts of the matter is that this was done, and this individual blocked me for no reason when I brought him onto my platform on about 7 occasions and promoted his product. And that's why his product doesn't exist. So that's the issue here, Trinity. Speaking of one company, though, that we love on Sportswire from DBW, the big man of DBW, Big Tex. Big Tex, how are you doing? And, interesting that you've come back on here. And what's on your mind, my friend?
Well, I'm here. As many of you saw, Mary Mayhem happened.
I did definitely saw that. Saw it twice.
Well,
looks like you need some help.
I'm gonna let Sportswire here know. By the way, Happy New Year's to everyone.
Thank you.
I will be coming back on here to talk personally with the Reverend here, a little bit more in depth about Mary Mayhem.
Okay, well, I'd be happy to have you on. Anytime you want. The floor is always open.
Big Tex.
Provided I don't get canceled, by the way.
I'm just saying.
Screw the cancel culture.
No, it was a joke. It was a joke.
I'm just saying, Big Tex, you need some backup. We know a group that'll do it for cheap.
Hey, if I'm ever in the Midwest, I'll know where to look. So
anywhere.
No, our Ohio chapter isn't very far from you. So, I got to let us know.
Hey, Big Tex. Definitely check out WFEW next year. YouTube.
I
heard Chris Craven.
I'm always there. I'm always watch.
I have Trinity here.
Hold on.
You think he's over the silver bullet? I said he said something about Silver Wolf. What's your company called?
WFEW, World Federation.
Chris, we were talking on the phone the other day. Isn't that the place you were talking about going?
Who, me?
Yeah.
I wasn't going to go over here to Silver Wolf.
That's what he said the other day.
Silver Cat.
No, DBW in Maryland.
Oh. Okay.
I was trying to get in there to work on their cards, but they
said
didn't have
he
any
was
open
young.
spots before the end of the year. And then there was that whole debacle between y'all guys at Havoc and Ego and shit, and now I don't even know now.
What happened? We don't know what happened with us and Ego.
I'm not in it. Y'all's feud with them, that's y'all's business.
First of all, we can clear this down. I have no illness towards them at all. I don't know.
I'm gonna get a phone call tomorrow from somebody from B will go.
When I say on this platform, when I say on any platform, I'm in character. So if they got butthurt from some of the things that we said, that's on them.
Yeah, I'm usually in character too, like now, and it's just, that's more political bullshit to me. That's backstage BS and drama. I understand why a match or an understanding couldn't be reached between everyone, but for some reason, I'm the one who got the phone calls at like 6 a.m. from Maryland wrestlers or former Maryland wrestlers going, "Why are you talking to both? Why are you over here and then over there and then?" Dude, I'm sleeping. Shut up. Leave me alone. I got woke up.
Big Tex, I got to ask you a question. What's your New Year's resolutions for 2024?
Okay.
Well, I have two of them for next year. One is to get myself better in that ring and to prove that I am a big man, that I need to be in that ring. Two is to finally win gold.
Well, you did say here that you were looking for a number of different golds, and I'm sure in that personal conversation that we'll have here on Sportswire Radio that you're going to try to accomplish that.
Take it off of
judgment. Oh, definitely.
Big Tex,
take the belt off of judgment.
I know champion video shot.
Let me ask everybody. You know what? Let me ask everybody a fun question here for a second. As I know the New Year's coming in, let's ask people here different. If people want to hang out, let me ask everybody a different question. If you had outside of your own work, what was your favorite wrestling moments of 2023? Let me go with you, TBK, first.
Oh man, my favorite was, looking back on it now, was probably the saddest moment of 2023 because, as I said, Bray Wyatt returned on my 31st birthday, and that to me, man, I'll tell you what now. Gosh, if he was around for what's going on right now with all the returns, all the things that are happening in WWE, it's sad. And me and Tom have talked about it a couple times, but it's just one of those, the world will never know type things anymore, and it's truly heartbreaking. But yeah, Bray coming back 100%. Okay.
For you, Coach Craven, what would be maybe some of your top or favorite wrestling moments of 2023?
I'm actually a real big fan of Jey Uso being on his own.
Okay, that's interesting.
It's something I think is well overdue. Something that probably shouldn't happen. It should have happened several years ago. Because you know, tag teams, they get tag teams all the time, whether they're related or not, and they usually split them up a lot sooner than that, right? Usually in the past, you've seen teams split up a lot sooner. I mean, the Usos have been together for since they came in. I would have thought maybe 5 years ago they would have split them
together
up.
since day one. Day one is day one.
Right. Another one, you know, I like the fact that R-Truth returned.
It's a good one. That's a good one. That's a good one.
And it's good to see that Orton's back in the ring doing what he loves after being out for so long. Glad that he got back in there instead of having to retire.
Yeah.
So, and if anybody's looking for a CM Punk plug, then go pump your own ass, because I'm not into that.
I think I've had a few of my own Punk moments on Sportswire, so we'll move around from that name. I have a bunch of comments. I'll get to them in a second. For you, Drake Silverwolf, what were some of your top wrestling moments in 2023?
Let's see. Knocking Ray Uso with a briefcase, became the champion.
How about outside of your own world? How about anything in the wrestling world?
Okay.
Fucking nice.
Okay, yes. Rephrase. Sorry.
Cover yourself.
Normally, WWE. I've been watching it for a while. I've been watching Jimmy and Jay Uso. And just like he said, I'm really proud that he's actually on his own and not being with the bloodline. Because, honestly, I don't like women's reigns.
Okay.
He's too cocky as a champion.
So you wouldn't like Ledger Shade then? Ooh. Yeah, well, I thought somebody would.
He mentioned that poser from TVW.
Pleasure.
He's such a poser that they don't even like him there anymore, you know. But hey, that's a different conversation for a different time. But the Nemesis James Taylor, what was some of your favorite wrestling moments in the wrestling world in 2023?
Well, if I was to have favorite wrestling moments outside of what the backyard community and stuff like that,
yeah.
I only watch WWE. I see clips of AEW, but WWE. I really liked Cody Rhodes and Brock Lesnar's feud, especially at SummerSlam, and to see Brock almost in a sort of way, symbolic way, like pass the torch to Cody, because he really deserved it, and you don't see Brock do that with anybody. And I think Cody earned Brock's respect that night, and that's a big thing. So that was probably my favorite match of the year. Other than that, as cool as it was to see Punk return to WWE, I was actually more excited for Orton to come back, because I'm a big Orton fan ever since 2004. And I follow Orton, and he's my favorite wrestler to date. You know what I mean?
Okay, that's a good one. All right, Soldier and Omen, if you had favorite, I know you guys have done a lot, on Sportswire, but in terms of, just outside the wrestling world, did you have a favorite wrestling moment or two?
Yeah, the time that Darkron jumped off the steel cage, that was pretty dope to me.
That was a good one. All right.
Yeah, and the time Forsaken backflipped off the cage, that was pretty good too.
And then other than that, the time when Soulja beat Steve at Winter Clash, that was pretty legit.
And when Omen won the hardcore title.
Was there anything in the mainstream wrestling world that was a moment for you guys?
You're twisting my arm.
It's your show,
the
Omen.
The rise of LA Knight.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
That's a good one. All right, that's a good one. I'd take that.
I guess just mine of the growth and expectations that he broke of Swerve Strickland this year.
That's a great, that's a great one. That's a great one. That's a good one. For you guys, Darkron and Matthew Forsaken, we're all Forsaken when you guys have something to say. But what were some of your favorite wrestling moments in 2023 in the mainstream?
Great for an unexpected one. Carlito coming back.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Carlito.
Came back 200 pounds solid.
I thought they were going to say Nia Jax's return, honestly.
Nia Jax.
I like the Hangman and Swerve match, honestly. That was
That was a good one. All right. That was a
fucking Moxley and Kingston Triple Crown.
What about your Winter Clash match? That, for me, to watch that was insane.
Outside of our shit.
Yeah, I love that match. Winter Clash was dope.
Good match.
Okay, all right. For you, Big Tex, the big man of DBW, I have to ask before I get to comments in my moments, what were some of your favorite wrestling, moments in the mainstream world in 2023?
Well, going back on TBK's, another one this year, the loss of Jay Briscoe.
Yeah, locally for the Maryland area, huge loss for sure. For the three of us who are Maryland guys here. Yeah.
But on a good note, seeing the Motor City Machine Guns finally get the relevancy that they deserve in TNA. Seeing Alex Shelley get that world title that he finally deserves. Getting to see Ospreay get that mainstream, not just with New Japan, but also in AEW and
TNA.
And a lot of other companies now, TNA and all this. Big promotions that he should be well known in at this point. The only other one I can think of is seeing Sammy turn on the Bloodline at Royal Rumble. That was a fantastic thing to see, and it was just one of those things that gets you hyped up and see what's going to happen next with that storyline. That happened with that storyline, so.
Excellent choices here. Let me get to some more ones here. I got a lot of people. Trinity wants to say, fingers crossed, 2024 can be great matches and great content with a more violent approach. She's actually been violent in the ring in XCW. I could never tell the Usos apart until they split them up. Much needed. Ethan wants to say, I have a favorite wrestling moment. That's the shocking return of CM Punk. That's a lot of people's ones. TBW, Heath Ledger's Joker. That's the sense of his character. Mine was the return of DYI. Jack Delta's got a good one. There isn't a single moment, but I just enjoyed that WWE kicks ass again. Premium live events feel must-see again.
Yes.
WWE's constant improvement is unparalleled. Recently best since the tail
Let's
end
give a
of
round
the
of applause for Triple H.
Yeah. Now that's a guy you definitely want running things.
Not only Triple H, but Shawn Michaels. But
yes, sir.
I mean, it's
very similar.
NXT is ran by.
Everybody can agree.
DX is running WWE.
When Triple H ran NXT, it was a lot better than with Shawn Michaels.
My second moment of 2023, Tom, was when Cody Rhodes won the Royal Rumble. The return of R-Truth. That's a good one. Say hello to you, Cornfed Gigolo. Favorite mainstream moment, NXT getting their collective crap together, and the light tube table. No one does it like the IMF. I'm surprised nobody mentioned Dom Mysterio. I think for me, Dom Mysterio was the story of wrestling in 2020.
He's the greatest heel of the year.
Why Dom?
Because Dom, I think, went from being a guy that was almost like an afterthought to arguably like he's probably got the biggest heat of any wrestler at the moment, I'd have to say. I think that to me, I think single-handedly the growth of Dom Mysterio, I think Dom Mysterio has, as crazy as it sounds, he has the potential on a main event level, not in terms of an overall career level, but in a main event level.
Why do you think CM Punk chose him for his return match?
Right.
Yeah, I was going to say.
And that was going to be my point.
That is true.
I think that Dom Mysterio has the ability, in not an overall career, but in a main event career, to exceed his father, Rey Mysterio. Not an overall career, but as a main eventer.
Actually, hold on. I kind of second that actually, because Ray can't get booed. It doesn't matter what Ray does. Like the only time Ray got booed was because the fact that it wasn't Daniel Bryan coming out for the Rumble. That's the only time you've ever heard Ray get booed. Like Ray can't be a bad guy. He's just it's like a little teddy bear. So it's like
even as Soldier, even back in WCW when he took the mask off, he still got cheered.
Yeah, he can't be a bad guy. It's just that there's certain wrestlers that can be bad guys compared to being good guys. And Dom is one of those ones that when he was a good guy with his dad, he got cheered. People loved him. But the moment he became like the most hated guy, and like it works for him because he seems like he acts like a dick.
Dom right now reminds me of what Eddie Guerrero was.
Eddie was.
You can tell he has the swagger that Eddie Guerrero had.
What WWE's trying to do.
Eddie
they
was.
Want you to feel about it. That's why he's got the, he's got the mullet going. He's got the. I wish Eddie was my dad. It's all linked up. So.
Are you sure people like Dom as a face? No, I don't think we're saying Dom as a face. I think Dom.
As a heel.
Yeah, exactly. All right, let me ask you guys another question. And in 2024, what are some of the wrestling stories you're watching? And I'll go back to the panel here at TBK. What are some of the things you watch in 2024 in the world of wrestling?
I mean, right now, obviously the big story is whether or not Roman is actually going to drop the belt at WrestleMania. There's still speculations on that one. We're hoping and praying. We're hoping, we're the other rumors floating around is whether or not The Rock is going to show up, whether or not Stone Cold might show up at WrestleMania to finally have the dream match with Punk. I mean, right now, WWE is must see, pretty much like Jack Delta said. Like, I'm not focused on any other company right now. WWE has absolutely hit their stride. They're back stronger than ever, and I'm excited for the potential.
I'm excited for tomorrow. Find out who they're bringing.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Craven Reigns. It could be Craven Reigns, former champion. Could be former champion. Not on the roster. Craven Reigns. Could even be Anthony Steele. Maybe Anthony Steele's the guy they're bringing.
Yeah, right.
There was a lot of shit going around today that it's Andrade. That Andrade left AEW for WWE.
Yeah, World's End. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mercedes Moné, maybe? How about Mercedes Moné?
Yeah,
there's a lot of talks.
I was gonna say there was a lot of. As of tomorrow, I heard there was like a couple of them that had their contracts up. QT Marshall, and there's a couple other ones that I know that are.
They're not gonna waste that whole thing.
I'm gonna jump in real quick because part of me says I think one of the big stories we might be watching. I hate to say this in a negative way. It's all the negative we said on Sportswire the last 48 hours. Chris Jericho. Look at what he might be. He might really be canceled.
I'm not touching. I'm not touching that one with a 10-foot pole.
Going there either. But I think he's in big trouble. He could be in big trouble right now, Chris Jericho.
Well,
I think it could be AJ Lee. Just saying.
AJ Lee.
In AEW, if you say anything bad, Danielson's going to be on your butt, but not going to go there.
I think it's AJ Lee.
AJ Lee. What about for you,
AJ Lee has been reported being at the Titan Towers in Connecticut in the last 72 hours. She's been spotted there twice.
Can I share I actually have a fun Titan Tower story. You want to hear it?
Sure.
I actually used to live for a summer. My uncle actually lived about literally 10 minutes away from the tower in Stamford. So every day on our way to going grocery shopping, we'd always pass the tower. He'd say, "Hey, that's the tower," and that's why I'm at the time a WWF fan. I go, "Wow, okay." So I was always pass by the tower. In real life, it really does look like what they used to show in those commercials. I have to say, it was really, really impressive there. But for you, Drake Silva, what is your story you're watching in 24?
Like I said, I want to see Roman Reigns lose the title. Yes, definitely, but I want to see Damian Mysterio actually become a champion.
Okay, that's a good one.
Like a big champion, like a heavyweight champion.
And for you, James Taylor, the nemesis James Taylor, what do you want to see?
I want somebody to shut Seth Rollins' sorry ass up. I'm sick of Seth Rollins. So I'm hoping either Punk's going to do it or maybe we'll get that dream match that we were talking about earlier. Because, I'd like to see it. I mean, did you see the altercation or the face-off between Punk and Kevin Owens?
Yes.
And in my eyes, because I'm the big Austin nerd, right? That's Punk looking at Owens saying, "You took my match. That was supposed to be mine. I did it this year." Maybe.
Right. That's a good one. For you guys, Dark Crown and Matthew Forsaken, we're always all Forsaken when you're here with us. And I'll have an announcement for you guys after that. But what would be your story you're watching in 24?
For me, I still honestly have the Judgment Day.
That's a good one.
I'm tired of them too, man. They can fucking go.
Yeah.
I'll get to some questions in a second, but Trinity, thank you for all you do. We're going to have you back on Sportswire at some point in 24. She wants to say Happy New Year, everybody. I know Omen and Soldier, you worked with Trinity in XCW, so obviously much love to Trinity. Love everything that Trinity Parker does, one of our favorites in XCW. But, real quick before I get to more wrestling stories, Dark Crown and Matthew Forsaken, I was wondering if I could ask you a question. Hearing about all these guys in the Sportswire Radio Hall of Fame going in, I was wondering, DKW, Foundation, Midwest. I mean, would you guys maybe want to be inducted into this Hall of Fame? I was thinking maybe, I don't know, February. I don't know. Well, do I look like I have a voice to be able to give them a 20-minute speech? I gotta really give them that Omen and Soldier guy. So how would be February the 7th work in your calendar?
That works for me. I could do that.
You do that?
For you, I could do that. Anything for you, Tom.
Well, I don't say that because I might be going Chris Jericho's out in 24 hours. But I would say maybe we could work on that time. Oh, I don't know. February 7th. I don't know. Afternoon work for you guys. Maybe we can figure it. Well, maybe February 6th even. Right? I'm trying to think of the calendar. February 6th. Actually, let's do February 6th. Let's do. How's 7:00 Eastern time for you guys? 8:00 Eastern time.
Oh yeah, that works. Yeah.
So how about we'll go even better? February 6th, we're going to get it here first. February the 6th to be inducted into the Sportswire Radio Hall of Fame. The
Hey, I just
DKW
want to point
Foundation.
out that it's a great week because you're inducting 3 days before you're inducting another foundation member.
Well, that's kind of
the week, baby.
That's why I play now. I just real quick, James Taylor. I was wondering, we have you have some availability out there in the calendar.
Just tell me a day so I can schedule it.
All right. I mean, I was thinking maybe, you would want to be inducted into the Sportswire Radio Hall of Fame there because I got another announcement real quick before we go to more wrestling stories. Would, let's say, January the 28th work?
Yeah.
10:00 Eastern time?
We can do that.
We'll do that. Coach Chris Craven. January the 13th. You doing anything?
No.
You want to be inducted into this thing called the Sportswire Radio Hall of Fame? You're the only one that's been in one Hall of Fame already. I know you might be busy.
I'm down.
And Big Tex, you're going to give me a date to come back onto Sportswire in the next week, right?
Oh, definitely.
All right, so you're going to give me that date, and maybe we're going to get you in the Hall of Fame in a few months, because after you go win a title in DBW, you want to be in the Hall of Fame, win a title, you get in?
Who knows?
All right, well, so we got it all out of the way. So let's talk about some other things here in the world of wrestling.
Yeah, I feel like someone's waiting. What about me?
Oh, well, Drake Silverware's got it. He's going to get there. Give him some time. He just made his debut on sports, but don't worry, you're going to get there.
I'd like to.
I'm patient.
Yes, James.
I'm glad. I'm happy for all you guys.
Comment in not any brown nosy way, but let's look at in this backyard world where let's go to the guys, the recent Hall of Famers, the IMF boys. They've come a long way in 2023 from having a match with Loose Cannon to now having venue match. Let's look at that evolution.
And man,
from
don't we did a
Make-A-Wish to 1,500. They've made their.
We did a Make-A-Wish, all right?
Yeah, that was Make-A-Wish.
You gotta say his name
for somebody.
You have to say Loose Cannon's name.
Hey, Tom, by the way, when James Head gets in the Hall of Fame, he'll give you like 2 weeks later. He'll give you an answer.
Now, listen,
You had to say Loose Cannon's name.
Because Loose Cannon is my favorite wrestler in IMF. So, I mean.
Clearly.
Oh, God.
Not Mephisto? You don't like Mephisto?
You guys do wrestle alike.
Yeah.
You don't like
really
Mephisto?
do.
What's going on with
Mephisto's the
Mephisto?
shit.
Let me ask you guys all. You know what? I want to ask a fun question. Obviously, we're getting ready for New Year's Eastern time, Central time. You got a little while longer. If people want to hang out, I'll hang out till as long as you like. Let me go around the room and ask a fun question. TBK, what's one hobby that you do outside of wrestling?
I'm do the podcast and then I'm a guitarist. I've been playing guitar since I was 5 years old. I got 26 years playing. Singer, songwriter. Trying to get back into that. So, like I said, 2024 is obviously wide open. We'll see what happens.
For you, Coach, I mean, I know obviously you know everything about wrestling. You're ready to be a Hall of Famer, but is there a hobby you have outside of wrestling? And calling Craven Rage out.
I'm a father of 4
He tank
kids.
top
I'm
shops.
a hobby.
Yeah.
He shops for tank tops.
Is anyone finding it weird that he has sleeves?
Yeah, I'm totally.
I almost didn't recognize him.
My point is, it's New Year's Eve. It's New Year's Eve, and he wanted to look good for the occasion.
We're gonna do another show.
Hobbies? No,
I know he has a white beater on under that shirt.
No comment on that. No comment on that.
It's just the only thing I do outside of wrestling and taking care of my kids is work, man. So all
right. What work's a hobby for you, Drake Silver? Other than the Wolfpack Hour and Fight with Skulls and Adonis Velios, what hobby do you have?
That's cool.
I actually play video games.
What do you play?
I actually have a new game right now, Legacy. Hogwarts. Harry Potter Legacy. I just got that for Christmas.
Like I said, he plays with boys.
Shut up.
All right, now I kind of know your answer, James Hill, because I follow you for a while. But what is your hobby? Now, apparently, by the way, I'm supposed to have somebody on Friday that actually knows you from the EFED stuff. The name Daniel Baldwin ring a bell?
Say that again.
The name Daniel Baldwin ring a bell? He knows Mr. Allen. Apparently, he's served in a promo EFED.
He said,
okay. So give me a hobby. Give me a hobby.
Content creating.
Okay, it makes two of us. Omen and Soldier. I mean, other than calling out
one other thing.
Yeah.
Having a better stunner than Soldier.
Oh.
I gotta tell you something.
Guys, it's New Year's Eve. Sergeant Omen,
I can tell you something that I'm gonna learn this year, or I'm gonna do this year.
You know what, Sergeant Omen? I know obviously, hobbies might include calling out Justin Parsley, Rob Slater, and Craven Rage, but is there any other hobbies other than that?
They play with action figures.
Well, I have
I'm gonna
children.
keep a lot of other wrestlers
my
out of
hobby
wrestling.
is wrestling, and then my children. So
that's a good one.
My kids are my hobby. I'm a simple guy. Start gasoline, gunpowder, and spending time with my kids. So
right.
You guys, Dark Crown and Matthew Forsaken, is there a hobby or two that you guys have?
Well, we actually go to like toy hunt. And we go to like vintage toy stores. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's
and
cool.
we like doing shit like that. I also collect AEW figures.
I remember I had you on in the summer. You showed me the figure collection. I was like, wow, I want to talk to you about the figure collection.
From a musical end point of it, actually the music that DKW uses for the entrance is actually my old band that I played for here back in like Columbus, Ohio.
Really?
We use like my old band music to play that.
Well,
shit.
if you're ever interested, because I have an internet radio station. If you want to have your music heard on the radio, I'll be happy to play it. So if you want, you have MP4s out there, MP3s. I'll play your music.
There is, yeah. I mean, I would talk to the other guy. It's been a while. Like,
okay, fair enough. I offered it. Yeah. Big Tex, I know you're the big man of BBW, but do you have a hobby or two other than fighting Mr. Judgment and working with Mr. Graves?
Well. Like Silver Wolf here, I do play some video games. I play WWE, of course, so I'm always just creating characters on there.
Dude, you gotta play
stuff like that. You don't want my characters.
You don't want my characters either on 2K.
Look at them talking about their preferences.
Future Wolfpack hours on the way. Let me get to my thought. You got Big Tex. Go jump in.
Yeah, I'm a collector, mainly pop figures. I do collect pop figures. I am also a wrestling figure collector.
Awesome.
And I do a lot of cooking, actually.
Oh, wow. What do you cook, by the way? Because I can't cook for my life. What do you cook?
Well, I'm actually a certified chef through college. So I did a whole 18 months of culinary school. That was hell. So I did that before I actually started wrestling. So I have a career to fall back on. I love making Chinese food. Actually, that's some of the best stuff that I ever really make. So.
Wow, that's what you
learn.
You
got new something. I'm actually certified too.
Oh, you're a certified chef also. Wow, I'm certified in cooking Chef Boyardee.
Certified chef. Who else is it?
I'm certified.
Cook anyone here making cereal.
Make macaroni and cheese.
No, I cook my ass off.
Let me ask you a question on the for the
I
figure guy.
don't want it. Don't go to his restaurant because apparently he's serving ass.
All right. To anyone here, I cannot cook all of you making cereal. Don't fight me.
Okay.
I'll get to my hobby in a second. I'll get to comments, but I wanted to ask a quick question for the figure guys. Is there a favorite figure or two, or a most desired figure that you guys have for the figure people? I know James is one. I think Darkron and Forsaken are Big Texas.
I got a Danhausen that I'm like really stoked that I found.
Nice.
Okay.
For me, it's actually the Ultimate Edition Bray Wyatt that was out, and I actually can't find that one. For the longest time, I still cannot find it.
Wow,
I've got the 19. It's like 1989, 1990.
You have the one of the things? Big Tex. You have one
I would like to say Soldier's the one that gave him full Target exclusive.
The latest one that I did pick up was the Roman Reigns.
Nice.
The tribal chief Roman Reigns Ultimate Edition one.
Nice.
Other than that, and of course I go through shopping all the time, or vintage hunting also.
Check
I don't collect figures. I collect Marvel memorabilia.
He does got some badass.
All right, I want people want to say a few things. Let me get to them. I'm actually waiting for WWE to see how they use Jade Cargill. I'll get to that in a second.
Me too.
Sure.
Marvel Legends, McFarlane, DC Multiverse, WWE, AEW, NCAA, Diamond Select, Tamashi Nations. Don't get me started. I have 2 Danhausens now. Love that Danhausen. I've got an Ultimate Feed worth $100 now. Now, I really don't have much time for anything, honestly. Between every dust we do with Sportswire and obviously my life and everything else, but the one hobby I do like to do is go to the movies. I do like to go to the movies. I just saw Ferrari on Friday. I saw Aquaman. I saw Aquaman.
So how was Iron Claw? Have you not seen it yet?
Saw half of Iron Claw. Basically, I snuck in and saw the second half of the movie. Saw that. I'm going to see that tomorrow, the full version. Aquaman 2.
How was it?
7 out of 10, being kind.
Okay.
Ferrari was pretty good. Ferrari, I would recommend to see if you like.
I can't wait for the next Triple X movie. I mean, the next Fast and the Furious movie.
I saw the last one. I like Fast and Furious.
So the thing I heard about the Ferrari movie was it's a prequel to Ford versus Ferrari.
Really?
Yes, because it I don't want to spoil the movie. If you want to know off the air, I'll tell it to you off the air. But yeah,
I kind of know the things about it, but yeah.
Okay.
I just collect Marvel comic books, Marvel on-screen items, and
I got DC comics.
I collect Marvel.
I apparently dove back into Legos.
I think the coolest thing I got is
we got plenty of those.
Jimmy Controversy was getting hit with Legos not too long ago. If anybody saw that was on Sportswire.
I haven't messed around with Legos since I was like 13 years old. And hold on.
You guys
my
watch,
brother, as a practical joke to see if I could still do it, was he sent me a 2,357 piece Lego set.
Did you finish it?
Ghostbuster car.
Oh, how long did it take you?
And then he wanted to time me to see how long it took me.
I want that.
How long did it take you?
I haven't gotten it yet.
It took me about 15 hours total to put that whole fucking thing together.
My price
The biggest one I put together recently was the Hocus Pocus house. I did that one. That's about the same amount of pieces.
I haven't put together a Lego set since I was like 13 years old.
No shit.
I don't think I ever put together a Lego.
Girls and pussy were more interested in a bunch of blocks than me at that age. So I had to write
As much as I would agree at this point, obviously I'll move on. But Ethan wants to say a movie he'd like to see is Indiana Jones, and a TV show he likes is
Good
Power
movie.
Rangers.
Classic Power Rangers.
I'm gonna let you guys know about the Indiana Jones movie. Is actually really good. I just seen it.
Dial of Destiny. I saw it.
Any of the Jones.
It wasn't.
Any of the Jones. Any of the Jones was good.
Dial of Destiny was not that good, honestly. The new guy, James Taylor.
I'm a big fan of figures. I got a lot of the figures that I like to have, but there is one that I'm trying to get that I'd like to get.
The Ringmaster.
Huh?
The Ringmaster.
The Ringmaster.
Stone Cold's first gimmick.
Oh yeah, no, I want that one.
Oh God!
Who is that?
Background.
Stone
Who the
Cold.
hell is it?
It's in Austin, but it's in Austin.
Where he's on. He's
Okay.
20. It's
I'm trying to get
28
that
inches
small
tall.
for him.
But there's one of Triple H and there's one of Undertaker as well. I'd like to get all those.
Now,
But
I'd like.
I do have vintage Ninja Turtles.
Hell yes.
Oh
You
shit!
know what?
Turtle, hell yeah.
I'll say this. I'll say
That's
this. You know,
that's badass.
you guys can collect all these wrestling figures all you want. The only one that I want is the Skulls action figure. That's the
Hey,
one that
that
matters.
Skulls action figure, you know what's going a long way because apparently I hear through the grapevine that Skulls, he's got a shot at getting inducted into the Hall of Fame, apparently, I hear.
Oh,
Only
those
if it
Skulls.
comes, hold on. Only if it comes with the mask removal and the respirator for after he
It's
gets
gonna
attacked.
it's gonna hit him in the face like a truck did. Too soon?
I hear apparently he's going to be on the same show as Dirty Ron is, apparently, from XPW. I hear that. I don't know where I'm getting that information from. But, real quick, because we're going to obviously still stay on the air for a little bit. People want to hang out still. For you, Big Tex, I got an announcement for you, Big Tex, because tomorrow night I'm live, 9 p.m. Eastern time with DBW coverage of a guy you probably heard of. You heard of this guy, Jackson Sabre?
Oh God!
He's
Him
coming back.
again?
He's back. He's requested a microphone. He says
The saber-tooth kitty's coming back. Apparently,
he's coming back, and apparently
Who
he
the
says
hell
he's addressing the entire DBW universe, and he is saying that he is going to go off like there's no tomorrow. He's starting to be here with us here live, 9 o'clock Eastern time. So you're here with us now. I promise you, Jackson Sabre, he's going to be talking, and he's going to be talking about you, Big Tex.
Got anything left in the room?
Silver
this man talks all this crap, but yet he didn't back it up yet at Mary Mayhem when he lost that Anarchy title.
James Taylor, you speaking? You want to say something?
Yeah,
Hi, James.
Hey, I'm going to go ahead and go, but I wanted to say congratulations to everybody, and I hope that you all have a happy new year.
Happy New Year.
Nobody shutting you down. Ain't nothing like that going to happen as long as you got all of us to support you.
Hell yeah.
Thank you. And Happy New Year, my friend. I hope you, obviously, family, thoughts, and prayers. Thank you for all you do for us. You can follow James Taylor, Taft_Taylor, Instagram, Taft Taylor, TikTok, YouTube, Nemesis Sessions, more shows 2024. January 28th, we're going to see him here live, 10 o'clock Eastern time, to be inducted into the Sportswire Radio Hall of Fame. Certificate to follow then. Also, press release and statement on my behalf. Thank you for all you do. Enjoy and give us a hell yeah. And obviously, keep up those shoots. And I can't wait to see more Nemesis
I
Sessions.
want a shot at you, James.
Hey, you, the ones leaving, definitely check out my YouTube page.
Wolfpack Hour. It's Big Bad Silver Wolf. Check him out. He's going to have Adonis Velios and Skulls. There's going to be shows to follow this week. Omen Black appears on it. Stay tuned for that. Thank you, Taft Taylor. And Happy New Year.
How many subs you got? Wrestling content on there?
He's got a lot of them.
Check mine out as well. And maybe get together.
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh, hell yeah.
Definitely.
If you definitely
want to come on my show.
That was James Taylor. So obviously we got 10 minutes in the East Coast until New Year. And, I actually have to ask, did you guys get invited to a New Year's party at all this year or what?
Not really.
Heck no.
Hey, this is a party, right?
It is a
Yeah,
party.
I mean, you might as well check off here.
I mean, technically, yeah.
It's just about to get wild.
It was. So let me ask you guys a question then. Is there anything else on your mind that you'd want to share to the public? Anything that you want to say? Anything that you want to address? Could be anything. I'll go with you first, TPK.
So I thought of somebody when we were talking about the wrestling stories. We got to give a shout out to let's give a shout out to Gunther, man. He's represented that belt really, really well.
Yeah,
Gunther.
Gunther.
Yes, sir.
Gunther.
I mean, the match that he had with Sheamus at Clash of the Castle, that was easily could be voted for match of the year.
Beautiful.
Beautiful.
100%.
Match?
Gunther all the way.
Clash of the Castle.
Clash at the Castle.
Him and Sheamus.
Gunther.
I mean, didn't he have that
Yeah.
WrestleMania match with Sheamus
I prefer Gunther over Sheamus.
McIntyre? That match with Drew McIntyre and Sheamus at WrestleMania was pretty good too.
It was.
Yes.
It was very good.
Yes, it was.
Yeah,
It was.
Gunther's done a lot with that IC title, but to be honest with you, and I'm going to harp on him again a little bit, I wouldn't mind seeing Jey Uso take that off of him. just to
You
give
think
Jay.
You think Jay Uso could take out Gunther?
Yeah.
I think Jay could, but
such a mark for
in
Jay.
true WWE fashion, they're going to put him again. The rumor is, and this is I've heard a lot of shit on this, is they're probably going to put him against Brock at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Who, Uso? Or
No.
Gunther?
No, Gunther and Brock.
Gunther and Brock.
Yeah, I think it's going to be Brock and Gunther.
He's going to cave Brock's chest in with one chop. I'm just going to say it right now. Hey,
They're
Zordon,
looking
I
at
think
Brock
Gunther wins.
but that's
for
like
the
the fourth
IC
time I
title at
heard
Mania
you got to
40.
go. Power Rangers need you, bro. That's like the fourth
All right.
time.
See, that's what I need to get. I need to get that dragon dagger. That's one thing I need.
I'm sorry to interrupt. I'm going to head out. Appreciate it.
Okay.
Thank you for being
Thank
on
you, my
Sportzwire.
friend. Good to see you. Happy
watch that
New
hoodie.
Year, and
Happy
nice
New
to
Year,
finally
Happy New
meet
Year.
you. We'll see you soon. All
Yeah,
right.
like 8 minutes here.
Also, Royal Rumble 2024, but I'll be live streaming. Probably not, because I'll be on Sportswire Radio. I mean, I got the whole community. that
Tom's
wants
a
to
busy
know.
man.
I got to be on with the guys here. I mean, that's what I'm going to be doing, but I'll definitely talk about it.
The boys.
So obviously Gunther's a one. Anybody else? Anything else that anybody's mind? Anything they want to share with the people? Anything else?
You know what? I want to address something.
Address it.
Before I came on the show, I heard someone was mentioning my name, and unfortunately, I share a brotherhood with him.
Interesting. Who might that be?
I don't know, Matt. Do you know?
We're talking about
Luke Combs.
I heard that you're not so fond of me being champion, me beating you.
See, you may have put me through that table. It was light tubes and made me all bloody. But you see, I walked away, right? I walked to the back on my own 2 feet.
You did.
He did. He
You
did.
did.
Sure did.
I thought since I became champion and that match was done, we can let bygones be bygones. But apparently, that can't happen.
Hey, we're all brothers.
Hey, we may be foundation, bro, but hey,
I think it's to the point where I have something that you want.
We certainly know that. I mean, we saw Winter Clash. That's a very valid point, I would think.
hardcore title would look nice here in DK You're right. Maybe I do want gold finally.
Some more roster members would look good at DKW. You guys got to get out and start recruiting, man. Come on, build that roster.
Apparently, we got enough pool that everybody wants us to work for them.
Is Craven Rage? Well, Craven Rage might be a free agent.
You don't want him.
Pass.
Even if you had to pay him peanuts,
Why
you don't
not?
want him.
Craven Rage could be a free agent right now. Could be the hottest free agent right now in the sport.
I'll say it. I'll take.
You know what?
Craven Rage every day.
I say I want
I need
Craven
someone to carry
Rage
my bags.
come out with MJ as his manager.
Carry your
What
bags.
about Anthony Steele? I hear Anthony Steele's a free agent.
Sure.
I
He ever
fired
shows
him
up.
carrying my bags.
Hey, Damian Saint's fucking way better than Anthony Steele can imagine.
Yeah. And I thought, well, Anthony's going to WWE, though, right? He's in WWE. Maybe he's
Right.
the
You
guy
may say
tomorrow.
that Damian Saint's
we were
more
supposed to have a
relevant than
match,
Anthony
never had a
Steele.
match.
Well, hopefully,
after
Winter
the wonder,
Clash,
right?
we're never
That
going to
champion,
see
that
Damian
former
Saint
champion
again.
not in the current roster. I mean, is
Look,
Anthony
Tony
Steele
Tinfoil
going to be the
doesn't
guy
even
tomorrow?
need to be mentioned
Is that-
anymore.
Seriously, serious question. Do you think Anthony Steele could be the guy tomorrow? This surprise.
No.
Who brought up Damian
No.
Saint?
I will never watch WWE again. Not ever.
Never.
People are
Never.
fucking
just gonna
lighting
say
fire.
this.
Paul
Hold on,
Levesque
Steve,
and
Winter
sorry,
Clash,
but
We're
there
never
was
going
the
to
worst
see
thing
Damian
in
Saint
the
again.
Yeah.
What'd you say, Omen?
After
Talking about
Winter
Damian
Clash,
Saint.
we're never going to see Damian Saint again.
No?
Why
I
not?
promise you that. How can he
Can
show
I
his
bring
face?
up one name,
How
though?
can he
Can I
show his
bring up...
face back in IMF, losing to a guy who said he was beneath or above?
A backyarder.
Can I bring up a name
maybe
that
a
all of you are
foundation.
going to know on here? If I bring up a name, all of you are going to know on here. Can I bring it up?
As long
All
as
right.
it's not gunshot.
If it's loose cannon, I'm out of here.
Not loose cannon, but I guarantee you that I think everybody should know this name. And it's a name that I'd like to see maybe You Omen wrestle.
We
If
should have
that's
saved
okay.
this.
Legitimate name, right? You think I can I bring this in? It's legitimate one. I'm telling you, everyone's gonna know the name.
Go ahead.
You ready?
Yeah.
Have you heard this guy Jimmy Controversy, right? Ring a bell?
Jimmy
Yeah,
Controversy.
Jimmy
Oh
Controversy.
God.
Yeah.
I got Omen Black over Jimmy.
Whoa!
Oh.
Now
What was
do
that
you
name?
think that
Forsaken over Jimmy.
Hey, whatever. I mean, I'm foundation. If me and Roman got something on
so
whatever.
Jimmy Controversy, you think it's a slam dunk, Big Tex, that Omen basically shows why he's the boogeyman of the Midwest and shows why he's the foundation and puts Sergeant Controversy and shows him why he's inferior, right? And he's not the hardcore guy anymore. Are you confident on that?
Let me be honest here, and I'm gonna shoot here.
Yep.
I could beat Jimmy Controversy.
You can't stop the cap.
Now, if I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong, right? You actually work with a tag team that shares a locker room with the
John
company
Cena fan.
Mr. Controversy, correct, right?
That's cool. That's cool.
You know
I
what
like the Brooklyn Prodigies. I know who you're talking about.
Yep, that's right.
I like to voice the Brooklyn Prodigies.
As I
So you know a
appreciate
thing about Mr. Controversy from the Prodigies, no?
Wait till the new year. We got a couple minutes.
All right, a couple minutes. So obviously, I'm going to let you guys get closing thoughts. Anything else you guys want to plug?
As
share,
I can
obviously,
say this, as I
Happy New
appreciate
Year, by the way.
everyone saying that I could beat Jimmy Controversy, I appreciate it, but time will tell.
All right,
Hell,
you guys, you guys want to run?
Forsaken
Are you trying to bring him on?
a better shot than I do.
I'm probably gonna.
Okay, you guys
Yeah,
gonna go?
I'm
So
probably-
anything else you guys want to plug, share, or say before I let you guys up? I'll see you probably tomorrow in the comments because I have Jackson tomorrow. So
Yes.
I'll probably see you. Anything else you guys want to share? No? Okay. Well, yep. Oh, Happy New Year. Yes, happy. should I
Happy
let
New
you
Year.
guys know
Happy New
now?
Year to everyone. We're probably going to bail out.
Okay.
Meetings here on fucking the East Coast.
Absolutely. Yes, I'll let you guys pop out. Thank you very much. I'm pretty much down to the last. Maybe we'll hang out for a few more minutes. Anything else you guys want to share or say? Obviously, I think the show's kind of pretty much running course.
I want to go back to what I was saying.
Yeah, let's go about
as
that.
I appreciate everyone saying I can beat Jimmy Controversy. You know, I think that Matthew Forsaken has a better chance than I do. No, out of character, you know, Matthew and Darkron are like my brothers. Soldier's my brother, but those are like my brothers from out of state. You know, we made nothing into something with DKW and IMF, so totally humble and appreciative of DKW and IMF and WC and ROEW and XCW, but no, I appreciate where everyone thinks of Omen Black.
Wait. I'm not going to go out on a whimper like this tonight. I am not going to go out on a whimper like this. Omen Black, it's your show, right? You're the 7th member of the Sportswire Radio Hall of Fame, correct, right?
Yeah.
You're the boogeyman of the Midwest, right? The hardcore god, first ever IMF hardcore champion.
Yeah.
And I've known you now. You've come on to Sportswire Radio for about 10 months, right? And this is the first time I've ever heard Omen Black kind of humble about the fact that, you know, maybe he could beat Jimmy Controversy. Maybe not. I'm a little bit surprised.
I know for a fact he can beat Jimmy Controversy.
You think that maybe Jimmy Controversy doesn't? Maybe you know deep down that Jimmy Controversy won't come to Iowa. You think that that's what it is? You think that the murder worshiper and obviously the sergeant himself and everything that he is. You think it's maybe because deep down he doesn't want to come into Iowa and go into a 400-seat venue?
No, not at all. I think he's been at this way longer than I have. I just got into the hardcore scene, so I'm kind of back at being a rookie. You know what I mean? Like,
come on, man. He's got to be creative. It's all right.
Yeah, but Jimmy's gonna see that and he's gonna eat you for lunch on that. Jimmy, I'm surprised here, Omen Black. Craven Rage is a 25-year veteran. Craven Rage is a 25-year veteran that was trained by Hornswoggle. You don't see he's saying those things about him.
No, hold the fuck on, Tom. I'm not saying that if Jimmy ever came up to me and said something, I wouldn't shoot back. That's what I am. That's what I do.
You know, I got something to say on that whole Craven Rage Hornswoggle thing when you're done.
He's
Now,
trained by Hornswoggle. That's what he says.
All I'm saying is, I've heard of Jimmy controversy. I've told him numerous of times, hey, I'm not the guy who's going to say it'd be a dream to wrestle you. I'm telling you right now, we are going to wrestle. But I guess on his time.
On his time. All right. If that's what you say. Well, you know what? If you're out there in the East Coast, Happy New Year to you and looking forward to 2024. We're going to actually have 2024 with Aurora. I want to thank my friend Marion out there who said I should say 2024 is going to go in there with Aurora. So I want to thank you for being with us. We'll hang out for a few more minutes.
We're about to hop off.
Thank you very much. Happy New Year, guys. Be safe, and we'll see you soon on Sportswire. And congratulations for all you guys do. Awesome.
Yeah, Craven Rage. You know,
there they are.
You said Craven Rage was trained by Hornswoggle.
Yes.
You know, after a long way of thinking about this, you know, it actually does make sense. Hornswoggle told him one valuable thing: how to act like he's bigger than he actually is.
Well, I mean, I'm not sure I can necessarily say that. I want to wish my friend Nikki Mirabella out there on Long Island a Happy New Year. She just messaged us that she's listening, and Happy New Year. Thank you.
12:02 on the East Coast.
12:03 now. But you know, why so on? He's trained by Hornswoggle.
Yeah, Hornswoggle taught him how to be bigger than he actually is.
But I mean, so you don't. Okay, go Power Rangers. So you don't. What are you trying to say then about Hornswoggle?
Well, you know, that whole for Hornswoggle, you know, it worked for his gimmick to try to be larger than life and be bigger than he normally was. For Craven Rage, it just doesn't fit. I mean, like, we got to do something here with Craven Rage. I mean, you have any idea? Now, I don't care about character and kayfabe right now. You have any idea how bad I was going to break him? Break that whole kayfabe early. Yeah, you see, did any of you see me twitching in my chair?
I was waiting on it. I was like, come on, man.
Well, I mean, I don't listen. Now that person was MJ. That was MJ.
Yeah, right.
That was MJ. That was MJ.
Like I said, I want to see MJ come out as Craven Rage's manager at the show and see if that's possible. Can Bruce Wayne and Batman truly coexist?
He's going to be the next Ezekiel. You know, they're setting it up. It's story building.
Story of this.
And I want to thank, obviously, Dark Cron and Matthew Forsaken for tuning in with us, and they were very appreciative, and we'll see them for the Sportswire Radio Hall of Fame. We're going to induct them into the Hall of Fame very soon, so we want to appreciate that, and I know we're going to induct them in a few weeks, so thank you, guys, and thank you for all you do. Happy New Year, but, you know, okay, well, let me get to a comment here because I have more comments before we sign.
You know me. I like just starting trouble.
Excuse me, Tom. I feel like the WWE should have pushed Hornswoggle to 2024 because he was the Raw general manager. Okay, well, it is getting it's getting to that time. Okay, is there anything else anybody wants to say on their minds?
No, you know, I think
I actually have some things for WWE. Like I don't think.
WWE, go for it.
I got a chance to do the stories. You know, the story segment. You see, I actually have. There's a few things in WWE this year I'd actually like to see happen. I already talked about. I'd like to see Jey Uso get one up on a singles title. You know, that would be nice.
Yeah.
Okay, we all know that, you know, probably gonna have Brock and Gunther. That probably gonna have, but some other things I'd actually like to see happen this year is I definitely want to see Cody go against Roman and get that title from him. I think 3 years of finish the story is like at some point finish the story, move on to the next chapter, start a new one.
And speaking of stories, real quick, I want to say a little more people because we actually got more people tuned in. So I'll hang out to our general manager of Resurrection Wrestling and co-owner Joseph Tibbs. How you doing? And Drake Golddragon. Drake, I think I messaged you on Instagram about coming on to the show. I think we're supposed to bring you on. So how you doing? And thanks to people tuning in there. So go ahead. We actually now have a lot of people to tune in. So if you guys aren't doing anything, people are back with us. So thank you for tuning in.
Another thing I'd like to say, and it's only because, okay, so I'm a real big fanatic of shoots in wrestling.
Oh, I'm aware. I'm aware. And you loved what I said yesterday. You probably loved what I said tonight also. You were loving it.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
So
yeah.
that's why I told you. I said, if this guy ever gets a hold of you again, just forward him to me. I'll handle him.
I've got like 17 people that have said that already. But
I was gonna say before everything was getting all crazy, I was like, I'm gonna have to take out an insurance policy on everything around it because when you start going off, I just want to.
Well, I went off so much. Actually, one of my lights went down. Actually, so that just shows you.
But
go ahead, Coach. Go ahead.
But see, this whole CM Punk Seth Rollins thing. Now, like I know I got a lot of friends here in Maryland that watch wrestling, and the moment that happened and he came out on Raw, I was like, Punk, and I was probably me and like my friend Lewis were like out of my group of little friends that I hang out with. Me and this guy Louie are the only two that are going Rollins, because Rollins came out on Raw and shoved it in his face with a very bold shoot. And I'm like, and up until that point, I was like, are they going to let him do it? Are they really going to let him do it? And then he came out and he did it. And so now I'm kind of hoping that post Rumble, I'm actually hoping that Cody wins the Rumble again. I know it's usually unheard of for a lot of guys to win it more than once. Or back to back.
You got Cody, you got Punk. I would think Cody and Punk are right at the 1 and 2.
But you also got, I do think that Punk and Cody are probably the two top favorites to win it. I don't want to see The Rock come back and win it. If that fucking happens, if The Rock comes back and wins the Rumble, I'm done. I will turn it the fuck off.
I don't think that's
The Rock.
Why not? Why would you turn it off? But if The Rock being in the Rumble, you would turn it off. Why?
I don't know if he won it. If they had him win it, give it to somebody new. Give it to one of the younger guys that are actually there all the time. You know what I mean? But with Punk and Cody being the top favorites of that, either WWE is going to let one of them go over in that match, or they're going to throw a curveball and have somebody out of the blue win it that you didn't expect to win it. But right now, going in the Rumble, Cody and Punk are the top two people that think are going to win it, and it's the whole road to Mania is wrapped around that right now. Like if Punk wins, Punk's going after Rollins.
Mm-hmm.
He's going after Rollins.
For sure.
Okay? If Cody wins, he's going after Roman.
Let me ask you a follow-up on it before I let TBK join in. Could you hypothetically say that if Punk doesn't win the Rumble, you could still give him the shot at Rollins?
I think if Cody wins and goes after Roman, I think that would be smart for them to set up Punk and Punk and Rollins at Mania. Because the build-up, the match, Punk can go in the ring, Rollins can go in the ring. The build-up with all this real heat and real drama between these two. Does anybody remember when Matt Hardy and the Edge thing happened with Lita and the cheating with?
Yeah.
You remember when they gave Matt a time off to cool the fuck down, and then they brought him back in, and then they let them two fucking work at each other.
Sure.
And like they were basically like, be professional about it, go in and put some real drama to it. And because they were legitimately hating each other, but they were professional about it.
All right.
Those matches were some of the best matches I think Matt Hardy had.
I have breaking news. I have somebody here that wants to come on very quickly to say hello because their wife's water broke. Is this who I think it is?
This is Mr. Joseph Billadou.
How you doing, Joseph? I know you're here.
Former wrestler.
Yep.
Former wrestler for IMF. Like James Taylor just said, loose cannon, but no longer a wrestler.
Okay. I know you for a few minutes. Yep.
My wife's water did just break, so we are waiting for the ambulance.
Okay.
We're expecting a little girl tonight.
Awesome.
Happy New Year to you, Mr. Tom Bryce. A huge fan of yours at Sportzwire Radio.
I appreciate that. Thank you so much. And God
Happy
bless
New
you,
Year, Chris Craven.
all right?
Well, Chris Craven, Happy New Year.
I appreciate
TBK,
that.
big fan too. Happy New Year.
Thank you, sir.
And I just want to say you've been doing, whoever's been talking about doing that stuff to you at Sportswire Radio, don't need it. Because honestly,
it's over now. It's over now.
Sportswire Radio is one of the best radio talk shows out here for wrestlers and for people to be on. And you're the best out here,
It means a lot to me that you came on here when your wife's water is about to break. I've been doing this for 5 years, and this is the kickoff to my 5-year anniversary on January the 25th, 2024. And the fact that you spent a few minutes out of your time right now while your wife needs you. That means a lot to me, and you're a good man, and you have my endorsement, you have my support, and I certainly look forward to you coming on after your wife settles down and you have the baby, and I'll let you come on anytime you like to talk, whatever's on your mind, all right?
Thank you, everybody. Happy New Year. I do got to go. The ambulance here. Happy New Year to
Tell your
all.
wife I said hi. Okay, there we go. Joe Bidlow. Well, how do you like that, guys? Guys on the way with baby and wanted to stop by and say thank you.
As I said,
I'm surprised his
Sportzwire,
wife didn't throw some at him.
Where would you rather be? bringing newborns into the world.
Well, I had a guy. Well, do you know the story? I had a guy with a gun that came on the show a couple weeks ago. Obey. Did anybody see that?
No. What?
Was a wrestler, Obey, who's a deathmatch wrestler, and we ended the interview, and he had a gun to end the show for one of his opponents. He basically pulled out a gun and did the cookie.
All right. Shit.
So you never know. So Punk, you agree with him on Punk and Cody won the Rumble?
So I do want to say something on the whole Punk Rollins thing, and I want to see if anybody agrees with me on it. The only thing is it real heat? Because there is giant speculation about some of Seth's anger being a work. And the fact of the matter is because there was an interview where somebody straight up asked him, they were like, hey, how do you really feel about Punk coming back? And he said, quote unquote, he was like, look, if the fans want it, if the higher ups want it, I will play ball and I'll be cool. He, pretty much if I have heat with somebody and we're talking real life heat, I'm not going to give somebody their flowers. I'm not going to sit there and go, oh yeah, he could be great for the company. He could be, I'm going to shoot. You know what I'm saying? Like, so with like you said, with Hardy and Edge, that was real world shit going on. That was a relationship. That was an actual. With this, it's I don't know. It feels like about if you saw what happened after War Games with Rollins having to be held back by fucking Michael Cole of all people, it felt pretty set up. I don't know.
I disagree with him a little bit because I think that I know being with that company, and we've seen this before with other people in the past who've tipped, who's rocked the boat while they're in it. You got to think Rollins right now is the world champion.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to do everything he can. He's going to be the company guy. He's going to be the yes man. He's going to do everything he's told to do to keep himself in the position that he's in. Okay, because it'd be very easy for him to be unprofessional.
Yeah.
Okay, that kind of comment, if the fans want it, if the company wants it, I guess I'll play ball. That tells me right there, and this is just judging from my experience being in locker rooms or wrestling organizations. That tells me right there that he's going to play ball because he's being made to play. He's being made to play ball. He's not given a choice.
I wouldn't doubt the fact that he's being a top A company guy. I wouldn't doubt that at all.
Right, he's being professional about it. But I do think that there's some real heat there. I think that
we know in wrestling, obviously with this platform, we know that there's real heat out there in the world, and that's just wrestling. You were in the locker rooms. I've obviously seen it on this platform.
You got to think though, Punk and Rollins' heat goes back to NXT.
But I would say that the Punk, not Punk, my bad, that the Rollins Riddle heat was more real than Punk and Rollins. That heat felt more real because there was comments about people's families. There was comments about Seth said something about Riddle's wife or ex-wife or whatever. That felt I don't know. It felt more real to me than this whole thing. I get it.
I said this yesterday. I'm not a big CM Punk mark. I'm not even like that much of a fan. I like it. I like his in-ring work. I liked how he came out when he started doing the pipe bomb thing years ago because it was they were going to let it.
We started the last 2 nights on Sportswire.
They were going to let an indie guy. This is you got to think that this is an indie guy that came into WWE during the ECW variation of WECW thing.
What do you call that ECW?
And they were going to give an indie, so they're going to give an indie guy because that's what Punk was. He was an indie guy.
Ring of Honor,
a microphone, and say, go out and shoot and say whatever you want. I was like, ooh.
Yeah.
You mean indie guys I know that would love to shoot on a WWE talent?
Oh yeah.
I mean, come on. Now you saw a little bit of that with Daniel Bryan. When they would pick on Bryan or some other people like Bryan about being indie darlings, right? And then those indie people would bury them.
Right.
You know, who I don't remember right off the top of my head at this current moment who it was, but one of them was it Punk? He was in the ring. It might have been Bryan, or maybe it was Dean Ambrose. He was in the ring with Orton, and he flat out buried Orton. No, it was AJ Styles. That's who it was. AJ Styles buried Orton in a promo in the ring one night about Orton judging indie guys.
Well, Orton had a reputation for a long time in that locker room. Now he's 360, but at one time in that locker room, he was definitely a guy that was not
buried Orton live on television, embarrassed him.
Yeah.
That's kind of like that moment when John Cena tried to tell Roman Reigns how to cut a promo on Raw.
Yeah,
I mean, that was a decent back and forth though. Those two guys, especially Cena knows his way around a mic. So.
I actually got a good one for you guys. Logan Paul. What do you think of Logan Paul?
Well, you know what? The thing I'll say about Logan is he's gotten the endorsement of both Shawn and Triple H.
I think Endeavor, right, has a part of that too. No?
Yeah, for sure. So I mean, he hasn't embarrassed the company. He hasn't hurt anybody.
But haven't they put him in a spot to make him look that way?
Well, I mean, look, if we're shooting, the guy's definitely fucking embarrassing, but he hasn't done anything embarrassing to them. Okay,
they're limiting him as his ability because they know that if he were to be out there as often as everybody else, he'd be exposed, right?
Yeah, right.
Well, Logan Paul's ability is actually pretty good. He can hang. Look, he can get in there and hang with some of them guys. He can hang with them. If you can hang, you can hang.
That high spot that he did with Ricochet was insane.
I'll be honest with you. Funny you mentioned Ricochet. Like, I think the fact that they put him in there with Ricochet and he was able to hang with Ricochet.
Yeah.
Like you see a lot of Ricochet's indie work.
Mm-hmm.
They don't let that guy shine as much as they should.
Yeah.
Like you're talking about a guy that I don't think there's anything in the ring this man couldn't do.
So what would you guys say the most disappointing loss for WWE was?
Lost how? Like someone lost the match, lost in talent?
No. Let go. Person who was
Dolph Ziggler. Dolph Ziggler.
Edge honestly had nothing more to do in WWE. That was clear. And
I say that for one reason. I say that because they could have just given him a send-off that was appropriate for him, that he earned, that he's definitely earned. Give him a send-off other than just dealing with a contract through the mail to see what he'll do. And then next thing you know, he pops up on another program. Like, I just think that was handled a little wrong for someone of his caliber or for what he's given the business and what he did to come back. Dolph Ziggler. Okay, so Dolph Ziggler, I like the fact that Dolph Ziggler has been around this long. I didn't expect him to be. He's a good worker. He's a good dude, all camera. But the company has no idea how to use him.
I don't know why. I don't know why.
Vince McMahon had no idea how to use him.
Yeah, but yeah. Yeah.
But why not Dolph Ziggler, though? Dolph Ziggler was a company man. He'd been a world champion. I mean, he was a guy that certainly institutionally meant a lot more than the wins and losses. Why wasn't he a big loss?
To me, Dolph was the modern day HBK. He had the look, he had the charisma, he had the in-ring ability. They dropped the fucking ball on Dolph. Dolph did not drop the ball on them, period.
And I mean, I know it didn't happen this year, but another loss that they suffered greatly on. I think they could another example, or excuse me, two more examples of two guys that in at least the last decade, they could have used properly and kept around is of course Moxley and Matt Cardona.
Yeah, Cardona's become a real big deal in the independents. I mean, he said he made more money this year than in any other time in his career in WWE. That's a pretty big.
I mean, they brought his wife in. They brought Chelsea in. You know, like I don't like. He's basically another Cody Rhodes. He left and got bigger than he ever was outside of the company.
I think in his interest, it probably wouldn't be best for him to come into WWE right now because the run he's had right now, I don't know if he'd be booked like that.
But you also think of the dynamic, right? You guys mentioned this earlier about DX running the company. Before you talk about all this talent that left under Vince McMahon, or while McMahon still had kind of a finger on the trigger or on the button, right?
The pulse, yeah.
And right now, as it stands right now, we're going into 2024 with no involvement of Vince. This is going to be the first full year, hopefully, if it stays that way, of no Vince McMahon.
You don't want Vince back?
No.
I think Vince was great for his time and for what he gave us with WWE and WWF. I think there was it's like everything, you know. Y'all mentioned evolution. Someone mentioned evolution earlier, right?
Mm-hmm.
Vince McMahon was good for a time, and Vince used to always come out. I still watch this regularly. I go back and I watch older episodes of Raw and SmackDown. Like I practically live on the WWE Network Peacock version.
I actually have the British version.
But
maybe that's why they're coming after me in the UK.
But anyway, you always hear Vince McMahon say this whole saying that we, the WWE or WWF, want to change with the times.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I figure it got to a point. It did get to a point a few years ago, or several years ago, where Vince stopped changing.
He didn't have to. He had no competition.
Yeah,
he had competition.
Right. So it's like it kind of just became like he became it almost feels like the product just became content.
When you're competing with yourself, that's what happens. When you're competing with yourself, that's the reality of it.
Yeah.
Right. So the fact that you got a fresh mind in there, or a fresh couple of minds in there, right? You got Michaels and Paul Levesque, who can literally you know, these are two people that were in the ring. These are people that wrestled their entire careers. You're going to sit there and tell me that these two people, even by definition alone, or by example alone, that they have not already started to show a change in the product. There's been a change in NXT. There's been a change in Raw and SmackDown. Like Paul.
So are you saying, in a way, to completely change the conversation, is that what Tony Khan is lacking, and why AEW has kind of hit this fork in the road?
Tony Khan has Tony Khan is a walking bank account. He is not a wrestling guy. He has the financial backing and nothing else. Tony Khan's a fucking bum. Sorry. Not sorry.
I think Tony Khan is I'm gonna extend off of what he just said.
Okay,
so Tony Khan and Jericho, like you got Jericho, you got Moxley, you got the Young Bucks, you got Mega, you know, they got the elite
Christian Cage, you got Christian Cage, he's got to be a role. We got Mark Henry there.
They started the company and everything went, all right, boom, there's a loud noise over here, something brand new. And everybody that's a wrestling fan went, what's that? Basically the same. And if you think about this, if you're a historian with wrestling like I am, it's the same thing Bischoff did when they put Nitro in the air and Lex Luger walked out on the very first Nitro in the Mall of America. And everybody was like, wait a minute, what? And then one guy after the next kept popping up. Vince's guys kept going over. And Bischoff got a very big initial response off of that. He fed off of that. Like,
he had a formula that worked for about. He had a formula that worked for about 2.5 years, maybe 3 tops, and then he wasn't able to transition.
Well, look at the time frame right now. When did AEW start?
2019.
Okay, first few years have been hot, right?
Yep, they did really well.
And now they're starting to go. Now they're starting to be like, what is
the ratings have kind of hit like a wall. Live attendance is mixed. Yeah.
The problem is that you're right. Tony Khan is a walking bank account, and he's like a 15-year-old or a 10-year-old wrestling fanatic that's going, oh my God, if I could use all this
He's
money.
39 years old. He doesn't have the life experiences that a Paul Levesque or Shawn Michaels would have.
So it's like for me, it's no different than Ted Turner and Eric Bischoff.
Yeah.
It really isn't. Because he's like, I got money. He's like, so Ted Turner's like, I got money. And for the Bischoff side, it's like, I wonder in my own imagination what I'd like to see on a wrestling show. And then he's just shelling out the money to try to put it there.
Yeah.
You figure the conglomerate that WWE is and how long they've been doing this and how long that they've been putting stories.
Well, you know what? It's almost like okay, the NFL has been around for 100+ years, right? The Major League Baseball has been around now for 155 years. The NHL has been around for over 100 years. Get the point? The WWE has been around for over 100 years in some form, right? AEW is this, promotion that's been around for 4 years, 4.5 years. I mean, realistically speaking, yes, and we'll certainly move on to the end of the show soon. But the point of the matter
is the XFL of wrestling.
Well, I mean, you could make that case. You could. I mean, look, the XFL obviously had funding, but they didn't have the name recognition or the institutional whereabouts to be able to be successful. I mean, WWE has things in place, and they have the name. They have the name. People, it's like Coca-Cola and Pepsi, right? I wouldn't drink Mickey Mouse because I wouldn't be in sodas.
I think and this is my prediction. I think AEW is going to turn into like basically another Impact Wrestling. They're going to be hot they're going to be good for maybe a few more years. Like Impact was. Impact was good for a good 8
Impact's made a little bit of a comeback though, but Impact's they're going to now be, TNA again, and they have a niche. They hit a fork in the road, no question, but they've actually come back and they've made it. I'm not saying they're AEW, but
I think Impact took a hit. TNA took a hit when they brought Hogan and Bischoff back in the
1,000%. When Hogan
that right there was the turning point.
So yeah, here's what I was going to say. So if you look back at WCW, all intents and purposes, all that, strip everything away, WCW should have absolutely won the Monday Night Wars, should have absolutely ran away with this thing when they scored Hogan. There's no doubt.
They won for 2 years. I mean, I think their problem was when they like he said, when they started bringing guys in, like Warrior came in, and then they had the whole booking with the jackknife powerbomb versus Kevin Nash and the streak being ended. Then they had the finger poke of doom. Then they had the NWO, like 14 NWOs. Then they had this whole thing. It was No Limit Soldiers, Master P. They brought him in to wrestle. And then they tried bringing in the Kiss Demon. And it was like all these goofy things. They brought Russo in. And the company had no real direction. They tried an NWO reboot. And then they had the Bret Hart Goldberg match. And
my point
I think the two elements that killed WCW altogether, and we're talking now 1 and now 2 of the last 2 in the coffin.
Okay.
Was overexposure and overusage of the NWO.
Yeah,
I agree with that.
And then bringing Vince Russo in without Vince McMahon to control him.
Yeah. So my whole point to that thing was, so again, you score Hogan, who gives you one of the most iconic moments in wrestling history period with the heel turn, and you got the big name, you got the big draw. Again, the overusage of the NWO is one of the things that caused their downfall. So AEW does the whole. Who did they bring in? Right? Who was their big draw at the time? Love him or hate him, it was CM Punk. They dropped the ball.
Yeah, CM Punk's the biggest draw they've ever had.
They dropped the ball with him.
Ratings would say
and the ratings have plummeted ever since.
Well, there was not to turn this into a local thing, but there was a hissy fit similar to what we've seen on Sportswire the last 2 days. And, and people didn't like that. But yeah, Punk drew the ratings and, they didn't want him in there.
Simply just like you said with Hogan, these are the two different elements when it comes from WCW. This is how they differ, WCW to AEW. Hogan came in and tried to instruct Bischoff how to do business wrestling.
He listened to him.
Right? And it just became it became a week in and week out element of who was running the show, Hogan or Bischoff. In AEW, the big name that came in the beginning was Jericho.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But Jericho is not Hogan. Jericho actually doesn't really give a shit about himself. Jericho cares about wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
He cares about the product that he's involved in. He's that kind of worker. He's that kind of businessman. He's going to show. He's the guy that's going to come into a locker room, no matter what company it is, and try to pass it on, give us knowledge, help them out, show Tony Khan or these people at AEW how to produce wrestling television. He's gonna show them the playbook of everything he's learned in his 30 plus years of wrestling. Yeah. He's not going to be like, well, I'm the big money draw. I'm like Hogan was, and say, feed me, feed me, feed me.
Yeah. Well, so I think the thing that you can collaborate between the two is, you know, you go at one point you were going to WCW with the enticement of a big paycheck and the fact that you would be able to express
work
your
less.
You know, work less and be in control of your own creative, because WCW was very much at that time a inmates run the asylum.
I agree with that.
Which if you look at AEW now, like I said, you got a walking, talking money bag right in front of you. And you cannot tell me that Tony Khan is running AEW. That is absolutely a wrestler-run company. That's why I think
during the press conferences, he looks anytime he's got a wrestler sitting next to him, he looks like he's creaming his shorts.
He looks right. He's fanning out the whole damn time. He looks lost. And you know, the thing is like I said, you cannot tell me that Tony Khan is specifically running that company to whereas you know for a damn fact every decision going forth being made by the WWE is coming down from Paul Levesque. Paul Levesque has a beat and a pulse on that company, and that is why they are still successful.
Right. And he's got a team of guys that work with him.
Yeah.
Separate from the ring. These are guys that don't do ring work. These are separate group of guys backstage helping him work. Fuck Christ's sakes, Bruce Pritchard still works backstage with this guy, with Triple H.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like people that are still company guys that have been there a long time. You know, you got Tony.
Well, again, we said there was an institution that's in place that a company like AEW that's only been around for 4 years isn't going to have. WWE is going to.
AEW lost its balance when Cody left.
Yeah, that might have been the first time somebody left right from AEW to go to WWE. Since then,
I think when Cody left and he took that experience and because Cody was one of those guys backstage that not only wrestled, but Cody had his finger on the pulse too, along with Tony Khan. He's like, he was that balance to Tony's overmarking or overmarking out. He was that balance. And when Cody left, it was like, Tony was like, oh, now the whole circus belongs to me. Now I can run the show how I want to run it. And sure, you know, they brought other people in.
Wait a minute. Time out. I know that you're here, but I thought you said, see, I know it's your show, but are you going on the way to meet Jimmy Controversy? Is that what you're
doing? Yeah, you got me. I'm at a truck stop right now.
Maybe you're on the way to Jimmy. I can give you Jimmy's address, actually, if you want. I actually happen to know where he lives.
No, I'm trying to find Big Cheese Logan right now, but...
Oh, that's going to take you a few days to get there, to that country. I mean, Justin Parsons is probably, a couple hours away? You can get to Justin Parsons.
Yeah, like 5 or 6, yeah.
I can tell you Justin Parsons.
Unless you're traveling with Soulja, it takes about 2 extra hours. No, taking truck stops.
What real quick, obviously, what do you want to say? Because there was a guy that popped on that you might have recognized. His wife was actually giving birth, and, you know, you've probably seen him before, right? You know who that guy is? He used to say a lot of things about you.
Unfortunately, I know him.
Yeah. Well, he came on and announced that his wife was giving birth. I mean, that's an interesting moment I've had. What an interesting way to start 2024.
He was in his house. Like, that was his apartment.
And he said that his wife was actually on the way. They were going to get the baby, actually have a baby. And he wanted to pop in and tell the world that. What do you make of that?
Hell of a guy.
He seems like he's got a lot of history with you.
That's
I want to say something.
dedication to the sport. Damn it!
I want to say something
And
about that.
apparently, he says he wants to come back to Sportswire Radio tomorrow. Apparently, he said that he announced. He just messaged me that he wants to come back and talk to the world tomorrow. Should this individual?
Tom, I can tell you, you'll definitely have a interesting talk with him.
I've seen your talks with him on previous IMF TV on the IMF Wrestling 666 YouTube page.
Listen, those are dark days in IMF. Right?
Maybe he sees that IMF is the place to be, and maybe he wants back in. No. Do you think maybe he could maybe have a chance to work in Drake Silver's promotion? Maybe.
I think even Drake has standards.
Maybe Skulls, because maybe Skulls and him.
Maybe Skulls because they're both broken. So right now, I saw his hair though. I saw his haircut on here.
It was pretty nice. He had a nice set of hair there, right?
Yikes! That's what I call it.
I think he looked great. I mean, obviously, he looks like a really
whoever his barber was definitely cross-eyed because they told him, "Hey, I want some on top," and they gave it to him on the fucking side.
Maybe that's the new look of 2024.
To look like a gumdrop guy from Wizard of Oz.
Like
no
going wrong. What?
But he came on the show and he was, he really just wanted to say how much that it meant.
You made his day letting him on Sportswire.
I think his wife should have made him go back to the barbershop instead of getting on here.
I was
him about to have a kid means nothing being on Sportswire.
Yeah, I want to actually, you know what? Before we go off the air here in a few minutes, I actually have one more big announcement that I should actually make. That Omen Black, you might actually be interested in because Tuesday night at 9:00. There's actually a guy coming on that you might actually be more interested in than Jackson Sabre of DBW. Does the name Mikey Anarchy ring a bell by any chance to you?
I know of Mikey Anarchy. I never talked to him myself.
Yeah,
I have watched him, but yeah.
Now, would that be a guy you think maybe you'd have a little bit more confidence in mustering and saying something to him a little bit, or maybe speaking to him? It's your show. You're a Hall of Famer now. I mean, Mikey Anarchy's coming here 9:00 live. Apparently, he's addressing a whole number of people across the world. He's addressing TF Crew. He's addressing Resurrection Wrestling. He's addressing pretty much anybody he wants. And who's going to stop him? I mean, I don't think anybody will, but, it's your show. And, you might maybe want to talk to this fellow.
I'll introduce myself. How about that?
But him, you feel like maybe... there's a little bit more on a level playing field, you think?
Listen, I don't want you to take my being kindness into a sense of weakness. No.
You're a hardcore guy.
Tom.
See,
but now the Atomic freaking Titan, you feel very much more confident with him, right? Very, very strong that he's not really a hardcore wrestler.
I will strangle him with that turtleneck sweater.
You don't like the turtleneck, huh? Does anybody like the turtlenecks on the Atomic freaking Titan? Because I thought people liked it.
I think he needs to stop wearing them. They're
stretching. Oh, fuck! You took your sleeves off. What the?
What about the haircut? Does anybody like the new haircut from the Atomic freaking Titan or what?
Did he get his haircut? I thought he just
No, he got a new haircut. He was growing the hair, and then he basically shaved it, and he's got a Matrix look almost now, a Neo look, the first Matrix.
Yeah. That's what people do when they see the Atomic Titan come near, and they're like,
"Which pill does the Atomic Titan take? Do you think?"
Both.
So Atomic Titan,
it's COVID season in Alabama right now.
Do you think that the Atomic Titan and you should have a match maybe somewhere? You don't think he'll want to do
that? Just wait. That's all I gotta say.
Okay? Because I've heard through the grapevine that there's companies out there apparently that they're actually looking to break the forbidden door. From what I've heard, not with saying anything too further, because these companies we like on Sportswire. I've heard apparently that
just I don't want to say never. God, I'm sounding like James Taylor. Never say never, but I have been reached out by TBW, and
I wasn't going to say that, but hey, I mean certainly we work with TBW, so we like them.
There's definitely talk being a Titan going
at
it.
Okay, so but Mikey Anarchy, you'd want to hear what he has to say. That one, you definitely want to hear what he has to say.
I don't want to sound like that guy, but he's probably heard of me on Sportswire.
Oh, he actually, if you really want to know,
Yeah,
he's definitely heard of you. Actually, I speak to the gentleman quite frequently. Actually, he's a fan of Sportswire. Actually,
I'm honored.
In fact, the gentleman even further, which he gave me, I'm sure he would have no problem with this. He said he's a big fan of Sportswire. Considers it an honor that he's coming on Tuesday.
Since it's my show, it's an honor to have him on my show.
Now, I was wondering also, since we are shooting at the hip here, I have you heard of this guy Chris Jones in EBW?
Unfortunately, yeah.
Well, unfortunately, wait. Chris Jones, unfortunately.
I'm Team XCW. I'm not Team EBW.
But you were working against Parsley and Slater. I thought you guys were not XCW, though.
Listen, doesn't mean I like the guys in XCW. I'm just Team XCW. I like Fletch.
I like Fletch, too, but
I will say this. I know there's a lot of people are trying to figure out who the foundation member is in the XCW. He's a wolf wearing sheepskin.
Well, I should not spoil this, but you know what? I think it's I'll never remember this because I got so many people on the next 2 weeks. There's a guy actually coming on from XCW who we haven't heard from in a while, and he goes by the name Law. Apparently, he goes by the name Jackson Law, and he's actually coming on Sunday night, 7:00 Eastern time. And apparently, also, we're going to make the word here live on Sportswire Radio because he granted me permission to say this. I'm actually going to induct him into the Sportswire Radio Hall of Fame, Jackson Law, Sunday night, 7:00 Eastern time. Now, obviously, he's a big part of things at XCW. In fact, you really did a number on him in ROEW, if I'm not mistaken, at one time. You guys, actually, the foundation really laid him out like a pancake almost, almost.
Yeah.
You know him?
Good. I know Jackson Law. I know Captain Law of the Land or whatever he calls himself.
I just call him Law, like Madonna almost. Madonna's called Madonna. I just call him Law because you know what?
He probably likes that. Madonna.
He actually said he likes when I say that. He actually said that apparently that he's very happy to be back on Sportswire and he considers it. Why hasn't he come back any sooner? I said, well, because I don't know what name to call you.
Well, he can't spell captain right. Have you seen how he spells captain?
He actually corrected me on that in the past.
Yeah, it's he corrects me all the time. I do it on purpose.
That's why I just call him Law because you know what? I know you're going to share a locker room with him, and I know that I'm going to have him on Sunday night. So maybe that'll be another conversation. Maybe you want to reintroduce yourself to Mr. Law. You got a lot of history there with him.
Well, if you saw at Winter Clash, he had he had a big feud with Soulja throughout the night.
I did see that. Yeah, I did see that, and I did see that Mr. Law was quite a presence there throughout the show. Actually, wink, wink, and a nod.
He really shit on Cedar Rapids, Iowa. I know Iowans didn't take that kindly, but to me they didn't mind being called inbred pieces of shit because I'm from Cedar Rapids, so they're like one of us. But
well, how do you think that I should treat him on the show to induct him into the Hall of Fame next Sunday? How do you think I should treat him?
Madonna, I guess. Just talk slow. Use simple words.
Well, I mean, I will say I won't be looking at him like I might have looked at Madonna 20 years ago. I'll give you that much, but
I will not.
Yeah.
No, I said 20 years ago, Madonna, not now. Madonna now I don't even recognize. But 20 years ago, I might have still looked at Madonna. Not so much now. But I'm gonna have him on, so I'm sure you might want to say hello to him. I'm sure that's a conversation. But Chris Jones is coming on, I believe, the 10th of January, but no, not a fan of him though. Not a fan.
I'm just not a fan of EBW. I'm Team XCW. But back to what I was saying, the wolf wearing the sheepskin. I definitely say this. He's Team XCW.
I'll be right back.
He's no one in EBW. No one that's
safe to say. Now, safe to say, this is a man I definitely know. Right, I know him very well.
I don't think he's been on Sportswire, no, but I think you should know him.
I know I actually pretty much know most of the rosters, but so I would say safe to say I definitely have had a conversation with him at least off the air. Then, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
At least talked about him. Like I said, you at least talked about him.
Oh, then I definitely listen. Listen, that could be anybody. So that means okay, I definitely know who it is. Okay, that's totally. We won't say it on the air, but okay, fine. I mean. Anything else you might want to share before we move on and close out the show?
Since Chris Craven left, let's talk about the sleeve thing. How long did it take for everyone to leave for him to take his sleeves off?
I think when maybe Drake Silverwolf left.
He was itching to get that. He was itching to get the tank top on.
We'll ask him that question. I actually still have a lot of people tuned in. I mean, people like the conversation.
You ever seen Trailer Park Boys? The character Randy.
Yeah.
Who he would get allergic reaction to having shirts on. That's him.
Well, you know what? He might be one of the people in line when I get canceled off the air that might want to take the baton. You know, he's already in line. He's in the successor for the job. He's one of the candidates. So
or Silverwolf, you know.
I tell you what, Silverwolf. You know what? He might be a Hall of Famer in 2024.
Now you know what I could tell, Tom. Like just the whole night you talking about this piece of shit, Josh Stone, and now having loose can on your show. Those of you've been pulling your hair all fucking night.
I think I'm going to be lucky to have hair at this point. The way it's going, but I mean, obviously, I guess I was in a generous mood tonight. We had Loose Cannon, we had Drake Silverwolf, we had Michael Blackheart on the show. I mean, I was also waiting for C2K to come on.
Yeah, that's one person that.
Well, how about the Wrestling Coffee Talk Show? Have you been asked to go on the Wrestling Coffee Talk Show?
Who? What?
C2K has a new podcast. It's Wrestling Coffee Talk.
Is this like brand new?
Brand new, about like 2 weeks ago. He had Atomic Titan on there. He had some guy who messaged me. I don't even know who he is. Messaged me, but so I guess you haven't been asked to go on the show. I mean, you want me to arrange it? I could certainly arrange it if you like. I know it's not the People's show. It's not your show on Sportswire.
What day? I'm busy. Never mind.
Okay. Well, I actually had two. Well, I guess one thing real quick before I get to you, Coach. I guess business must be good because randomly out of the blue, I did have two promoters outside of the from the yard here that said, "Hey, I heard about you, and when can I come on Sportswire?" So apparently, the controversy seems to draw attention. So there you have it. I don't even know who they are. Well, one guy I do know personally. I don't want to say his name. The other one, I know the company. I know exactly who the company's name, but I can't reveal it yet. But, Coach, I got to ask you before we get off the air tonight because I want to go off soon. It's time to go. But what happened with Take Off the Sleeves?
Hot in the
basement. Last thing I'll say. Okay, I can see it's time for you to go soon. But, has anybody ever
I was
told
just hanging out to my daughter.
Oh, good night and Happy New Year to you. Thank you for allowing to have your father here with us on Sportswire Radio for the last couple hours, and he'll be inducted into the Hall of Fame on January the 13th.
It's not like she had a choice, all right?
Well, I mean, some people might have choices at this point, but has anybody ever told you you look like a drummer who like goes out there with like the no sleeves, with a cigarette in his mouth, and just goes out there and goes ba-dum.
I wish I had a professional drummer's salary.
Well, that makes two of us, but I mean, apparently, from what I've heard, professional wrestlers don't make much money anyway. So why is everybody arguing about what people say? I mean,
that's one thing I want to talk about.
All right.
After experiencing Winter Clash and hearing what Dirty Donnie and Levi McDaniels have gone through to book half the people that went there, wrestlers pay like you said, it's barely anything, right?
Well, what I've heard is the average is 20 to 30 pounds in the UK. In America, it's about $50.
Yeah. There
bucks.
are some guys, I will shoot from the hip. His name is Crazy Jack. He's an indie wrestler in Georgia. And
I heard the name.
He does like this whole voodoo doctor thing. And it's kind of a cool character, I'm not going to lie. But Dirty Donnie had come across him, or I should say, Crazy Jack has messaged Dirty Donnie. And he was demanding like ridiculous shit. Knowing that we're like a backyard just turned indie company, he's like $200 flight and hotel. He sounded like CJ Black for real, but he was serious. $200 flight, you need to house me and feed me. And we're like, and Dirty Donnie's like, we're good. Thank you.
I mean, I was gonna say, like, how many tickets are you gonna sell me for $200? And I'll shoot from the hip in the UK, like the bigger indie guys, like an RPD or a Big Cheese, actually, because I can say this. Those guys will sell 40 to 50 tickets. So if their fee is, let's say, 150 pounds, they're gonna cover their fee and some. So that's fine. You pay that. But if some guy from I don't know where, has no relations to your company, and you don't pay them $200 and really $500 plus the fees, so no.
Yeah, it's just
But Craven Rage cost you guys $1,000 to book.
what?
Jeez.
Dude, $1,000 in Monopoly money, maybe. But
Wow.
Maybe I'll have to cover the fee on January 20th for his return to the ring, huh?
pass go, $200. Bam.
Do not pass go. Do not collect $200.
So were you impressed with MJ tonight? Anybody impressed with MJ?
I never saw him.
I mean, damn.
Looks a lot like that.
When,
man.
One guy.
When I went up to WC, never saw that guy before, so I think he's new.
He's
and
I
this
saw.
actually brings me to my comment from last night when I was like, when I called Craven Rage out for being WCE management, and everybody was like, no, this guy such and such is, and then I made the comment, well, he's sleeping with management, and you were like, no, and then management comes on this guy MJ, who is in fact, somebody.
I've never seen MJ on Sportswire Radio before, though. I've never seen him.
He's a new guy.
He's the new guy. You know what? And he spoke. I mean, he spoke more than Mark Packer did on here. I mean, apparently through the grapevine, somebody that knows Mark Packer was the reason that.
I will say this. I'll give MJ I'll give him some respect. He gave me what no one else in management would have. Gave me a match with Craven Rage. Now I don't even want it though.
I feel like that's defeated the entire purpose of the last year in Sportswire Radio. The biggest feud, the longest running feud's been you and him. It's hands down the longest running feud.
I could be lying though.
I mean, I think about all the feuds that we had this year on Sportswire through all the different promotions. I mean, the feud that I think that was the longest running feud really was, I would say, you and Craven, and maybe Darkfire and Crenton would have been second, and maybe running third at the last minute was Titan and Allen, because Titan and Allen did feud through different names, different gimmicks.
I just don't think he's ready for me.
But you're getting him at the right time right now, because you've obviously seen him lose to Kodak.
Kodak took it from me. All right, I'll just be honest. But
you're getting him now at the right time. You get him; he's ripe for the picking.
It doesn't.
When you called him out, he was the backyard nightmare. When you called him out, he was the backyard nightmare. He was unbeatable. He was untouchable. Nobody wanted him. When you called him out, I'm at the peak of his pinnacle. Now you're calling him out. He's calling you out, and he's like a laughing stock.
The thing is, Kodak already took from me what I wanted, the streak. I didn't want the belt. I wanted his streak.
But he wants you now, finally.
He's riding my coattails.
Isn't that what WC's been doing the past 4 or 5 months, some would say?
I mean, just look at Chris Craven. He's riding my coattails too. But I'll let him because he's my boy.
You can eat a bag of dicks. I ain't riding no.
But maybe because Chris Craven, in a way, didn't do it the way Craven Rage did, because Craven Rage ducked you for 10 months.
Actually, wait, hold on. This is a good thing you said that, Tom. I didn't have to hound him for 10 months. I just popped in out of nowhere, challenged his ass.
You direct messaged me on Facebook.
And then he was like talking shit, and then he accepted my first ever challenge. He accepted my first one right off the bat.
Real talk for a second. Real talk, literally. He messaged me randomly, "Hey, I'm also named Craven." Real talk. He just messaged me, "Hey, can you come on the show?" I'm like, "Yeah, all right." I looked you up. I'm like, all right, yeah, I'll bring you on. Mm-hmm. And that was it.
Okay, I want to correct you. You had some of that right, but no, you came on the Sportswire for the first time and you ate him alive.
I let you on. I let him on, though. I let him on.
No, Chris.
Oh,
Chris, you came in here to shoot this guy apart, and you're like, talk now. He's like, I don't know what to say.
I'm the greatest.
Right. So I be honest with you, when it comes to Craven Rage, I ain't riding nobody's coattails. I'd already made this guy my bitch 20 ways till Sunday, and got him to accept my first challenge instead of taking 10 months to Omen.
But look at Anthony Steele, though. He accepted your challenge too, and
Well, he's going to WWE.
He's got a WWE job. Scrubbing.
I'm telling you, he's WWE bound. Listen, he's the guy that's going to be the mystery guy everybody's talking about on Raw. It's Anthony Steele. I'm telling you, that's why he's on Instagram doing those promos, because he's getting ready for his appearance. He's the guy everybody's talking about. Remember, because he had that contract. He had that big contract with that email.
I've talked to him. He hates this joke so much.
Out of everybody,
he walked into it because he said, I'm a changed man, and I'm gonna do something different. I got that email, and I'm gonna go to that tryout. I'm gonna be on Raw. I'm gonna be on SmackDown. I'm gonna be here.
Anthony, I know you're watching right now, dude. I know you hate this joke, but
he walked into
good
it.
luck.
Though.
Good luck in WWE, man.
Listen, I hope he does great in WWE. I hope we see him feuding with CM Punk. Maybe he's gonna win the Rumble.
Maybe he's gonna beat Gunther.
Yeah.
Steele was the guy. Steele was the guy. I'm an indie guy now. I'm Anthony Steele. I'm an indie guy now. I'm a champion.
Yeah, he's also going to be the third man of the Outsiders from Bash to the Beach '96.
Anthony Steele, listen, he's the guy that's going to bring WWE even further. Listen, the network deal that they're negotiating, negotiating the deal that they're going to get, they're all waiting on to make the final stroke with Anthony Steele. Anthony Steele is the holdup. Listen, if you're watching out there, for those that are listening and watching on Sportzwire Radio, Anthony Steele is the reason that Raw hasn't gone to any number, because they're waiting for Anthony Steele. They're waiting for the real deal. Anthony Steele, the indie star, the guy that's basically retired from the backyard because he conquered the yard. And indie guy said he had the greatest Claymore of all time. Drew McIntyre knows about it, and he's got that contract to get him into that contract to go into WWE. He's going to walk in to be on Raw tomorrow or today, depending where you are. And we're waiting for him to debut on Raw so they can sign that deal to get Raw to be on for how much more money they want. Anthony Steele is the whole holdup. Anthony Steele right now, he's the guy that's holding the glue in wrestling. You think about this, Anthony Steele, he's the guy right now.
I was really excited about this one.
He's been waiting all year.
It's not Jack Delta. It's not the British guys. It's not anybody. It's Anthony Steele. I'm telling you, he's got those promo wars popped up with ATK, and he's got that whole thing he's waiting on. It was his birthday recently. He got the haircut. He's getting married. He got his shot. He's got the load that came all out already, and it's gonna all coming out on Raw tonight. He's the guy that Adam Pearce is going to say, ladies and gentlemen, we've got this guy. He's coming in here, and it's not who you think. He's a real deal. He's got a Claymore you're never going to see. Furthermore, his name is the real deal, Anthony Steele. Everyone's going to go out there and go,
It's not Pierce.
Oh, my God!
It's not Pierce. Apparently, Paul Levesque is supposed to make the announcement, so it's really big time.
Well, listen, Paul Levesque.
It's the real
Paul
deal.
Levesque wouldn't come out. He wouldn't come out for Atomic Titan. He wouldn't come out for Josh Allen. Gage Flair, he definitely wouldn't come out there for, because obviously Flair. But Anthony Steele, he's making a special exception out there.
The only person past Anthony Steele is the guy who beat Anthony Steele.
It's a power move. It's just a power move.
Anthony Steele is the man that can single-handedly change the face of professional wrestling. Anthony Steele right now, he's the guy that could be on next year's PWI 500. He's the guy that could be number one in it. Anthony Steele is the guy right now. If you're out there in GCW, if you're out there in Court Bauer's company, if you're out there in BWA, anything else out there, Anthony Steele right now, he's the guy that could single-handedly. We might be on the premises of the next phase in wrestling, the next era. It's not Cody. It's not CM coming back. It's not what the AEW does. It's not Nick Khan and Endeavor. It's Anthony, the real deal Steele, with the real Claymore. The Claymore heard round the world. And that ring attire he comes out to, and that music. And that's why every single locker room says Anthony Steele is the guy that you got to have in there. Anthony Steele is the, he's the king. In fact, he's so good that Anthony Steele has to make sure in every match he's in that he has to make sure there's no clean loss. He has to make sure.
I'm really passionate about this one.
And he's so good in the ring that he has to make sure that even if it's guys that come in that have been in multiple promotions, have their own venue, and go out there and they make sure that they go out and they've gone and sold out 200-seat venues 400-seat venues been main events. He's got to make sure that he looks good. Got to make sure because WWE Network deal is looking out there. He's got that deal. He wants to make sure he goes over. Wants to make sure that he's the guy out there. So he knows what's best for business for himself. He's made sure to look out for himself, and that's why he knows that almost every company in the backyard, he's retired from the backyard because he voluntarily had to retire from the yard because most of the other yard companies. They don't want him in the yard because they know the truth of the matter is that every locker room almost like you never heard of the old the she-woman haters club. Yeah. That would kind of be the way like in a number of locker rooms that they see Anthony Steele, they go, oh, the real deal Anthony Steele. No, I don't know. That's why he's kind of voluntarily had to retire from the yard.
Look, Anthony. A long story short, Anthony told Cody Rhodes, I wrote the book on finishing stories. You shut the hell up.
So no. Actually, all fairness, complete honesty here. You'll know if he shows up in WWE because during an episode of Raw, NXT, or SmackDown, the ring that he was assigned to put together as part of the ring crew will fall apart.
The lights will go out.
No, wait a minute.
There won't be a top rope.
You telling me they wouldn't give him a security job? They wouldn't give him, one of those guys to go out there.
He's going past that. He's already in the roster wrestler. Not
They're gonna make him turn around.
Not the cameraman.
Maybe you sure this isn't like a 2K Fed game that he's in? You sure it's not a 2K Fed game?
No, it's the real deal, Tom.
Triple H brought CM Punk back early to make room for Anthony to be the special entrant in the Royal Rumble.
And he's gonna win it.
He's gonna win it. He's gonna win it.
All right, you know what?
Anthony is going to finish the story.
Fuck finishing a story. He's gonna start the story.
He's the greatest thing that nobody's ever seen in wrestling.
No, you're right. No, wait, you're right. He did get a trial in WWE, except for it's a different WWE. It's not World Wrestling Entertainment. It's What Wrestling Entertainment. That's who he signed with. What Wrestling?
I almost.
I want to say this, Tom. You're very passionate about telling. You gave me a whole story about Anthony Steele and WWE. I was sold. Like, yeah.
I've even heard that there's companies out there that they actually have in their locker rooms that he's so beloved universsally. He's so beloved.
He's got a guaranteed
they have signs.
contract.
No. They have signs. Actually, that's what I heard. It's not my opinion. From what I've heard in different locker rooms with different initials, and it's not IMF. I'm not talking about IMF here. I've even heard Anthony Steele that there's actually in locker rooms they have a sign, Anthony Steele, and they have like the sign, almost like the no sign. They kind of have like the no under his name, Anthony Steele, no sign. Basically, that's what I heard. That's what I've heard. Anthony Steele,
men's rooms, right?
What's that? And then I've even heard that if he were to show back up in those locker rooms, that they would actually have him dressed outside the locker room because those locker rooms apparently, this is from what I've heard, not from anybody else, that in those locker rooms that they actually would not prefer him to be in their locker room. That if he were to show up,
the men's bathroom, right?
I've heard it's a hygiene issue.
Well, the hygiene issue would be that apparently, he has to make sure that Claymore, he gets that Claymore in so good because, again, Drew McIntyre said that it's, again, he's the greatest wrestler nobody's seen.
Yeah. Claymore sponsored by Old Spice.
And Trinity's saying, oh, snap, we're doing an open mic. And I'm saying, Trinity, I think you know who this Anthony Steele is. He's been in XCW, so I'm going to say nothing further because now I'm getting people tuning back in because like, what is he going to say now? Who's he going after next? What person is he going to talk about now? So now you're seeing all of a sudden the numbers come back up on YouTube because people are going, who is he going to talk about now? Let me get on that phone right now. He's talking about us now. Got to make sure we give him a DM. Don't talk about me now because it wasn't me. I had nothing to do with it. That's what's coming in here now. Yep, I see it. I see you coming in there. I know why you're coming in here. So I'm just saying. Maybe before we go off the air, because maybe it is time to go. Anybody else want to say anything else before we say sayonara? Because it is a point.
I gotta say, hearing Tom's excitement, I gotta go now.
Okay, it's time to go. Yeah. Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New Year, guys.
Happy New Year, Chris Craven. Thank you, everybody. It is time to retire. My voice hurts. Happy New Year. I'll see you tonight.